This video is scripted, edited and written by Nihar Dash. This video is scripted, edited and written by Nihar Dash.
List of the Indian 146 freedom fighter. The Indian independence movement consisted of efforts by individuals and organizations from a wide spectrum of society to obtain political independence from the British, French and Portuguese rule through the use of many methods. This is a list of individuals who notably campaigned against or considered to have campaigned against colonial rule on the Indian subcontinent. So here is our list. Post-independence, the term freedom fighter was officially recognized by the Indian government for those who took part in the movement. People in this category, which can also include dependent family members, receive pensions and other benefits such as special railway counters and many more things. So here is our list, which is written by Nihar Dash for public domain purpose only. 1. Abbas Tayyab. 1. Abbas Tayyab. 1. Abbas Tayyab. Born on the 1st of February 1854, Baroda State, Gujarat, India. Died on the 9th of June 1936, Mussoorie, Dehradun, Uttarakhand, India. Abbas Tayyab was born to a Sulaimani Bohra Arab family of Cambay in Gujarat. He was the son of Shamsuddin Tayyab and grandson of Mullah Tayyab Ali, a merchant. His father's elder brother was Badruddin Tayyab, first Indian to become a barrister, later on a judge of the Bombay High Court and an early loyalist president of the Indian National Congress. 2. Abdul Bari. Professor. 2. Abdul Bari. Professor. 2. Abdul Bari. Professor. Born on 1892, Kansiwa, Kota, Rajasthan, India. Died on the 28th of March 1947, Fatwa Junction, Fatwa, Bihar, India. Abdul Bari 1892-1947, a descendant of Syed Ibrahim Malik Baya, was an Indian academic and social reformer. He sought to bring about social reform in Indian society by awakening people through education. He had a vision of India free from slavery, social inequality, and communal disharmony. He took part in the freedom movement and finally sacrificed his life for the cause. 3. Abadi Bano Begum. 3. Abadi Bano Begum. 3. Abadi Bano Begum. Born on 1850, Uttar Pradesh, India. Died on the 13th of November 1924, Delhi, India. Abadi Bano Begum took an active part in politics and was part of the Khilafat Committee. In 1917, she joined the agitation to release Annie Besant and her two sons from prison. Mahatma Gandhi encouraged her to speak, as she could get the support of women in the freedom movement. In 1917, during the sessions of the All India Muslim League, she gave a most touching and forceful speech which left a lasting impression on the Muslims of British India. She travelled extensively throughout India to galvanize support for the Khilafat movement. Abadi Bano Begum played an important part in fundraising for the Khilafat movement and the Indian independence movement. She, along with Begum Hasrat Mohani, the wife of Maulana Hasrat Mohani, Basanti Devi, Sarala Devi Chaudharani, and Sarojini Naidu, often addressed women-only gatherings and exhorted women to donate to the Tilak Swaraj Fund, which was set up by Bal Gangadhar Tilak for the Indian freedom movement. She was active in the freedom movement until her death in 1924. 4. Abdul Qayyum Ansari. 4. Abdul Qayyum Ansari. 4. Abdul Qayyum Ansari. Born on the 1st of July 1905, Bengal Presidency, India. Died on the 18th of January 1973, Bihar, India. Abdul Qayyum Ansari, 1 July 1905, 18 January 1973, was a participant in the freedom struggle of India. He was known for his commitment to national integration, secularism and communal harmony. He was a leader who worked against the demand of Muslim League for creation of a separate Muslim nation from India as an independent state. Mr. Ansari fought against Jinnah's two-nation theory through All India Movement Conference, of which he was the president. 5. Alimuddin Ahmad. 5. Alimuddin Ahmad. 5. Alimuddin Ahmad. Born on 1884 Dakcha, Bengal Presidency, Dakcha, Bangladesh. Died 1920. The start of Ahmed's activism roughly coincided with the 1905 partition of Bengal movement. As an accomplice of Hemchandra Ghosh, he joined Ghosh's underground organization. During World War I, many revolutionaries and activists were caught by the British, though many, such as Ahmed, continued to organize themselves underground. Ahmed provided shelter for numerous rebels and assisted them with weaponry. He continued his anti-imperial activities in hiding to avoid police arrests. The colonial police were never able to capture him. 6. Alluri Sitaram Raju. 6. Alluri Sitaram Raju. 6. Alluri Sitaram Raju. Born on the 4th of July 1897, Pandrangi, Andhra Pradesh, India. Died on the 7th of May 1924, Ambaragoppa, Karnataka, India. Alluri Sitaram Raju. The 4th of July 1897 or 1898 to 7 May 1924. Was an Indian revolutionary who waged an armed campaign against British colonial rule in India. Born in present-day Andhra Pradesh. He became involved in opposing the British in response to the 1882 Madras Forest Act, which effectively restricted the free movement of Adivasis, tribal communities, in their forest habitats and prevented them from practicing a traditional form of agriculture known as Podu. Rising discontent towards the British led to the Ramp Rebellion of 1922, in which he played a major part as a leader, mustering a force combined of Adivasis, farmers and sympathizers to their cause. He engaged in guerrilla campaigns against the British colonial authorities in the border regions of the Madras Presidency, part of the districts of East Godavari and Vishakhapatnam, now part of Alluri Sitarama Raju district. He was nicknamed Manyam Virudu, Tranzal, hero of the jungle, by local villagers for his heroic exploits. 7. Ahmadullah Shah. 7. Ahmadullah Shah. 7. Ahmadullah Shah. Born on 1787, South India. Died on the 5th of June 1858, Shahjahanpur, Uttar Pradesh, India. Ahmadullah Shah. 1787 5 June 1858. Famous as Maulavi of Faizabad. Famous freedom fighter and was a leader of the Indian Rebellion of 1857. Maulavi Ahmadullah Shah was known as the lighthouse of rebellion in Awadh region. British officers like George Bruce Malleson and Thomas Seto made mentions about the courage, valor, personal and organizational capabilities of Ahmadullah. G. B. Malleson mentions Ahmadullah repeatedly in the History of Indian Mutiny, a book written in 6 volumes covering Indian Revolt of 1857. Thomas Seto describes Ahmadullah Shah as a man of great abilities, of undaunted courage, of stern determination, and by far the best soldier among the rebels. Thomas Seto. 8. Ambika Chakrabarti. 8. Ambika Chakrabarti. 8. Ambika Chakrabarti. Born on January 1892, Chittagong district, Bangladesh. Died on the 6th of March 1962, Kolkata, India. Ambika Chakrabarti's father's name was Nanda Kumar Chakrabarti. He was a member of Chittagong Jugantar Party. He took part in the Chittagong Armory raid led by Surya Sen. On the 18th of April 1930, he led a group of revolutionaries who destroyed the entire communication system in Chittagong. On the 22nd of April 1930, he was seriously injured in the gunfight with the British Army in Jalalabad, but he was able to escape. After a few months, he was arrested by the police from his hideout and sentenced to death. However, the sentence was later changed to transportation for life to the cellular jail in Port Blair. 9. Amarendranath Chatterjee. 9. Amarendranath Chatterjee. 9. Amarendranath Chatterjee. Born on the 1st of July 1880, Uttar Pradesh, India. Died the 4th of September 1957, Uttar Pradesh, India. Amarendranath Chatterjee. Bengali. Amarendranath Kattopadhyay.
कोष्टक
01 जुलाई 1880 4 सितंबर 1957. Was an Indian independence movement activist, in charge of raising funds for the Jugantar movement. His activities largely covered revolutionary centers in Bihar, Odisha and the United Provinces. 10 Anant Laxman Khanhere. 10 Anant Laxman Khanhere. 10 Anant Laxman Khanhere. Born on 1891, Anjani, Mulgaon, Thane, Maharashtra, India. Died on the 19th of April 1910, Thane, Maharashtra, India. Anantanag Laxman Khanhere was an Indian independence fighter. He was born in a Brahmin family. On the 21st of December 1909, he shot the collector of Nashik in British India. The murder of Jackson was an important event in the history of Nashik and the Indian Revolutionary movement in Maharashtra. 11 Ananta Singh. 11 Ananta Singh. 11 Ananta Singh. Born on the 1st of December 1903, Chattogram, Bangladesh. Died on the 25th of January 1979, Kolkata, India. Singh's involvement in the Indian nationalist movement began with the non-cooperation movement in 1921. Although he motivated his schoolmates to join the movement, he personally did not have much faith in the movement. On the 14th of December 1923, he and Nirmal Sen led the robbery at the Treasury Office of the Assam Bengal Railway according to the plan made by Surya Sen and clashed with the police after the robbery on the 24th of December. He fled from the scene after the robbery and reached Calcutta after a short stay at Sondwi. He was arrested in Calcutta but released soon. He was again arrested in 1924 and imprisoned for 4 years. 12 Aruna Asaf Ali. 12 Aruna Asaf Ali. 12 Aruna Asaf Ali. Born on the 16th of July 1909, Kolkata, India. Died on the 29th of July 1996, New Delhi, India. Aruna Asaf Ali. Nee Ganguly. 16 July 1909, 29 July 1996. Was an Indian educator, political activist, and publisher. An active participant in the Indian independence movement. She is widely remembered for hoisting the Indian national flag at the Golia Tank Maidan, Bombay during the Quit India movement in 1942. Post-independence, she remained active in politics, becoming Delhi's first mayor. 13 Ashfaqullah Khan. 13 Ashfaqullah Khan. 13 Ashfaqullah Khan. Born on the 22nd of October 1900, Shahjahanpur, Uttar Pradesh, India. Died on the 19th of December 1927, Faizabad, Uttar Pradesh, India. In 1918, while Khan was in the 7th standard, police raided his school and arrested the student Rajaram Bhartiya in relation to the Mainpuri conspiracy, in which activists organized looting in Mainpuri to fund the publication of anti-colonial literature. The arrest spurred Khan's engagement in revolutionary activities in the United Provinces. Khan met Ram Prasad Bismil, a revolutionary who was closely involved in the Mainpuri conspiracy, through a friend. He soon became closely tied to Bismil and joined him in activities related to non-cooperation, the Swaraj Party, and the Hindustan Republican Association. 14 Atukrishna Ghosh. 14 Atukrishna Ghosh. 14 Atukrishna Ghosh. Born on the 4th of May 1890, Nadia, West Bengal, India. Died on the 4th of May 1966, Kolkata, India. Atul was born in 1890 in a Bengali Hindu middle-class Kayastha family of the village Jaduboira at Mampur in Kushtia subdivision, which was then in Nadia district, now in Bangladesh. His parents were Taresh Chandra and Binodini Devi. The couple had 6 children. The eldest, Meghamala, was married to the famous professor of algebra, K. P. Basu, both connected with the revolutionary movement. Their son Jitendranath Basu, along with Atul and his youngest brother Amar, was blacklisted, too, for participation in seditious activities. After his primary classes at Kumarkhali, Atul passed brilliantly his matriculation in 1909 from the Kolkata Hindu School to join the Scottish Churches College for Intermediate and the Krishnat College at Barampur for B.Sc. While preparing for his final MSc examination at Presidency College, Kolkata. 15 Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar. 15 Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar. 15 Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar. Born on the 14th of April 1891, Dr. Ambedkar Nagar, Madhya Pradesh, India. Died on the 6th of December 1956, New Delhi, India. Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar, 14 अप्रैल 1891 6 दिसंबर 1956, was an Indian jurist, economist, social reformer and political leader who headed the committee drafting the Constitution of India. From the Constituent Assembly debates, served as Law and Justice Minister in the first cabinet of Jawaharlal Nehru, and inspired the Dalit Buddhist movement after renouncing Hinduism. Ambedkar graduated from Elphinstone College, University of Bombay, and studied economics at Columbia University and the London School of Economics, receiving doctorates in 1927 and 1923 respectively, and was among a handful of Indian students to have done so at either institution in the 1920s. 16 Badal Gupta. 16 Badal Gupta. 16 Badal Gupta. Born on 1912, Bengal Presidency, Bangladesh. Died on the 8th of December 1930. Bengal Presidency, India. Badal Gupta was born in the village Purba Shimaliya, East Shimaliya, in the Bikrampur region of Dhaka, now in Munshiganj district, Bangladesh. Badal Gupta was also influenced by the revolutionary activities of his two paternal uncles, late Dharaninath Gupta and Nagendranath Gupta, who were involved in the Alipore bomb case and were imprisoned along with Rishi Aurobindo Ghosh. Badal Gupta joined the Bengal Volunteers in 1928. He had also known Kanilal Bhattacharjee, who too was a Bengal volunteer. 17 Bagha Jatin. 17 Bagha Jatin. 17 Bagha Jatin. Born on the 7th of December 1879, Bengal Presidency, Bangladesh. Died on the 10th of September 1915, Balasore, Orissa, India. Jatin was born in a Brahmin family to Shirashashi and Umesh Chandra Mukherjee in Kayagram, a village in the Kushtia subdivision of undivided Nadia district, in what is now Bangladesh, on the 7th of December 1879. He grew up in his ancestral home at Sadhuhati, P.S. Rishkhali Jainida until his father's death when Jatin was 5 years old. Well versed in Brahminic studies, his father liked horses and was respected for the strength of his character. Shirashashi settled in her parents' home in Kayagram with her son and his elder sister Benodebala.
Koshtek.
Or Vinodebala. A gifted poet, she was affectionate and stern in her method of raising her children. Familiar with the essays by contemporary thought leaders like Bankim Chandra Chatterjee and Yogendra Vidyabhushan, she was aware of the social and political transformations of her times. Her brother Basanta Kumar Chattopadhyay, father of Indian revolutionary and politician Haripada Chattopadhyay, taught and practiced law, and counted among his clients the poet Rabindranath Tagore. Since the age of 14, Tagore had claimed in meetings organized by his family members equal rights for Indian citizens, inside railway carriages and in public places. As Jatin grew older, he gained a reputation for physical bravery and great strength. Charitable and cheerful by nature, he was fond of caricature and enacting religious plays, himself playing the roles of God-loving characters like Prahlad, Daruva, Hanuman, Raja Harish Chandra. He not only encouraged several playwrights to produce patriotic pieces for the urban stage, but also engaged village bards to spread nationalist fervor in the countryside. 18 Balkuntha Shukla. 18 Balkuntha Shukla. 18 Balkuntha Shukla. Born on the 15th of May 1907, Muzaffarpur, Bihar, India. Died on Gaya Central Jail, hanging on the 14th of May 1934, Bihar, India. Shukla was born on the 15th of May 1907, the same day as that of another revolutionary Sukhdev, in the village of Jalalpur in Muzaffarpur district of Bengal Presidency, now in Vaishali district of Bihar. He got his elementary education at his village and became a teacher in a lower primary school in village Mathurapur. He took active part in civil disobedience movement in 1930 and was imprisoned in Patna Camp Jail. He was released along with other satyagrahis after the Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Later he came in contact with the members of the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association and became a revolutionary. 19 Bal Gangadhar Tilak. 19 Bal Gangadhar Tilak. 19 Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Born on the 23rd of July 1856, Ratnagiri District, Bombay Presidency, Maharashtra, India. Died on the 1st of August 1920, Bombay Presidency, Maharashtra, India. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, born Keshav Gangadhar Tilak. 23 July 1856, 1 August 1920. And here is Lokmanya. IAST. Lokmanya was an Indian nationalist, teacher, and an independence activist. He was one-third of the Lal Bal Pal triumvirate. Tilak was the first leader of the Indian independence movement. The British colonial authorities called him the father of the Indian unrest. He was also conferred with the title of Lokmanya, which means accepted by the people as their leader. Mahatma Gandhi called him the maker of modern India. Tilak was one of the first and strongest advocates of Swaraj, self-rule, and a strong radical in Indian consciousness. He is known for his quote in Marathi, "Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it." Uddharan. He formed a close alliance with many Indian National Congress leaders including Bipin Chandra Pal, Lala Lajpat Rai, Arbindo Ghosh, B.O. Chidambaram Pillai and Muhammad Ali Jinnah. 20 Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. 20 Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. 20 Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Born on the 26th of June 1838, Bengal Presidency, Bangladesh. Died on the 8th of April 1894, Calcutta, Bengal Presidency, British India. Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Also Chattopadhyay. Key. 26 or the 27th of June 1838, the 8th of April 1894 was an Indian novelist, poet and journalist. He was the author of the 1882 Bengali language novel Anandamath, which is one of the landmarks of modern Bengali and Indian literature. He was the composer of Vande Mataram, written in highly Sanskritized Bengali, personifying Bengal as a mother goddess and inspiring activists during the Indian independence movement. Chattopadhyay wrote 14 novels and many serious, serio-comic, satirical, scientific and critical treatises in Bengali. He is known as Sahitya Samrat, Emperor of Literature, in Bengali. 21 Barindra Kumar Ghosh. 21 Barindra Kumar Ghosh. 21 Barindra Kumar Ghosh. Born on the 5th of January 1880, Croydon, United Kingdom. Died on the 18th of April 1959, Kolkata, India. Barindra Kumar Ghosh or Barindra Ghosh, or popularly, Baron Ghosh. 5 January 1880, 18 April 1959, was an Indian revolutionary and journalist. He was one of the founding members of Jugantar Bengali Weekly, a revolutionary outfit in Bengal. Barindra Ghosh was a younger brother of Sri Aurobindo. 22 Basavon Singh. 22 Basavon Singh. 22 Basavon Singh. Born on the 23rd of March 1999, Hajipur, Bihar, India. Died on 1989, India. Basavon Singh or Basavan Singh, also known as Basavon Sinha, 23 March 1909, 7 April 1989, was an Indian independence activist and a campaigner for the rights of the underprivileged, industrial laborers and agricultural workers. He spent a total of 18.5 years in prisons in British India as a consequence of his support for independence, and he was committed to democratic socialism. Along with Yogendra Shukla, he was a founder member of the Congress Socialist Party in Bihar. Among his revolutionary colleagues and friends, he was called Lambert because of being very tall. 23 Batakshwar Dutt. 23 Batakshwar Dutt. 23 Batakshwar Dutt. Born on the 18th of November 1910, Khandagosh, Bengal Presidency, India. Died the 20th of July 1965, New Delhi, India. Batakshwar Dutt. 18 नवंबर 1910, 20 जुलाई 1965. was an Indian socialist revolutionary and independence fighter in the early 1900s. He is best known for having exploded 2 bombs, along with Bhagat Singh, in the Central Legislative Assembly in New Delhi on the 8th of April 1929. After they were arrested, tried and imprisoned for life, he and Singh initiated a historic hunger strike protesting against the abusive treatment of Indian political prisoners, and eventually secured some rights for them. He was also a member of the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association. 24 Binoy Basu. 24 Binoy Basu. 24 Binoy Basu. Born on the 11th of September 1908, Bengal Presidency, India. Died on the 13th of December 1930, Calcutta, Bengal Presidency, India. Binoy Krishna Basu. Bengali. Binay Krishna Basu Bino Boshu. और बिनोय बासु और बिनोय बोस 11 सितंबर 1908 13 दिसंबर 1930 was an Indian revolutionary against British rule in India, who launched an attack on the Secretariat building, the Writers' building at the Dalhousie Square in Kolkata, along with Badal Gupta and Dinesh Chandra Gupta. 25 Bhagat Singh. 25 Bhagat Singh. 25 Bhagat Singh. Born on the 27th of September 1907, Punjab, British India. Died on the 23rd of March 1931, Lahore Central Jail, Lahore, Punjab, now in Pakistan. Bhagat Singh. 27 सितंबर 1907 a 23 मार्च 1931 was a charismatic Indian revolutionary who participated in the mistaken murder of a junior British police officer in what was to be retaliation for the death of an Indian nationalist. He later took part in a largely symbolic bombing of the Central Legislative Assembly in Delhi and a hunger strike in jail, which, on the back of sympathetic coverage in Indian-owned newspapers, turned him into a household name in Punjab region, and after his execution at age 23 into a martyr and folk hero in northern India. Borrowing ideas from Bolshevism and anarchism, he electrified a growing militancy in India in the 1930s, and prompted urgent introspection within the Indian National Congress's non-violent but eventually successful campaign for India's independence. 26 Bhagwati Charan Bora. 26 Bhagwati Charan Bora. 26 Bhagwati Charan Bora. Born on the 15th of November 1903, Lahore, Punjab, Pakistan. Died on the 28th of May 1930, Lahore Central Jail, Punjab, Pakistan. Philosophy of bomb. In 1929 he rented room No. 69, Kashmir Building, Lahore and used it as a bomb factory. He planned and executed the 23rd of December 1929 bomb blast under the train of Viceroy Lord Irwin on the Delhi-Agra railway line. The Viceroy escaped unhurt and Mahatma Gandhi thanked God for the narrow escape, condemning the Revolutionary Act through his article The Cult of Bomb. In response to Gandhi's article, Bora, in consultation with Azad, wrote an article entitled The Philosophy of Bomb. It appealed to youths to come forward and join them. The concluding paragraph of the article reads, "There is no crime that Britain has not committed in India. Deliberate misrule has reduced us to paupers, has bled us white. As a race and a people, we stand dishonored and outraged. Do people still expect us to forget and to forgive? We shall have our revenge, a people's righteous revenge on the tyrant. Let cowards fall back and cringe for compromise and peace. We ask not for mercy and we give no quarter. Ours is a war to the end, to victory or death." 27 Bhavabhushan Mitra. 27 Bhavabhushan Mitra. 27 Bhavabhushan Mitra. Born on 1881, Balarampur, Bangladesh. Died on the 27th of January 1970, Kolkata, India. Bhavabhushan Mitra, or Bhava Bhusan Mitra, alias Swami Satyananda Puri, 1881 27 January 1970, was a Bengali Indian freedom fighter and an influential social worker. He represented the link between two radical trends: the highly centralized spirit of showdown personified by Barindra Kumar Ghosh, and the decentralized loose federation of regional units advancing in a progressive revolution, as practiced by the Jugantar movement under Bagh Jatin. 28 Bhikaiji Kama. 28 Bhikaiji Kama. 28 Bhikaiji Kama. Born on the 24th of September 1861, Navsari, Gujarat, India. Died on the 13th of August 1936, Bombay Presidency, India. Bhikaiji Kama was born in Bombay, now Mumbai, in a large, affluent Parsi Zoroastrian family. While in London recovering from the plague, she met Dadabhai Nauroji, then President of the British Committee of the Indian National Congress, and for whom she came to work as private secretary. Together with Nauroji and Singh Ribabhai Rana, Kama supported the founding of Warmers Indian Home Rule Society in February 1905. She was denied re-entry to India after refusing to sign a statement pledging she would not participate in nationalist activities and, while in exile, Kama wrote, published in the Netherlands and Switzerland, and distributed revolutionary literature for the movement, including Band Mataram, founded in response to the Crown ban on the poem Vande Mataram, and later Madan's Talwar, in response to the execution of Madan Lal Dhingra. These weeklies were smuggled into India through the French colony of Pondicherry. Citation needed in the 22nd of August 1907. Kama attended the Second Socialist Congress at Stuttgart, Germany, where she described the devastating effects of a famine that had struck the Indian subcontinent. In her appeal for human rights, equality and for autonomy from Great Britain, she unfurled what she called the flag of Indian independence. Citation needed. 29 Bhupendranath Datta. 29 Bhupendranath Datta. 29 Bhupendranath Datta. Born on the 4th of September 1880, Calcutta, Bengal Presidency, India. Died on the 25th of December 1961, Calcutta, West Bengal, India. Bhupendranath Datta. 4 September 1880, 25 December 1961. Was an Indian revolutionary and later a noted sociologist and anthropologist. He associated Rishi Aurobindo in his political works. In his youth, he was closely associated with the Jugantar movement, serving as the editor of Jugantar Patrika till his arrest and imprisonment in 1907. In his later revolutionary career, he was privy to the Indo-German conspiracy. His elder brother was Swami Vivekanand. The Asiatic Society today holds the Dr. Bhupendranath Datta Memorial Lecture in his honor. Anushilan Samiti. Anushilan Samiti symbol. JPG. Influence. List. Anushilan Samiti. List. Notable events. List. Related topics. List. VT. Datta was a writer too. He wrote several books on Indian culture and society. He wrote a book named Swami Vivekanand, Patriot Prophet. 30 Bhupendra Kumar Datta. 30 Bhupendra Kumar Datta. 30 Bhupendra Kumar Datta. Born on the 8th of October 1892, Thakurpur, West Bengal, India. Died on the 29th of December 1979, Kolkata, West Bengal, India. Bhupendra Kumar Datta. Bengali. Bhupendra Kumara Datta. 8 अक्टूबर 1892, 29 दिसंबर 1979. Was an Indian freedom fighter and a revolutionary who fought for Indian independence from British rule. In addition to his other specific contributions as a Jugantar leader, he holds the record of a hunger strike for 78 days in Bilaspur jail in December 1917. 31 Beena Das. 31 Beena Das. 31 Beena Das. Born on the 24th of August 1911, Bengal Province, India. Died on the 26th of December 1986, Uttarakhand, India. Participation in India's freedom struggle. Das was a member of Chhatri Sangha, a semi-revolutionary organization for women in Kolkata. On the 6th of February 1932, she attempted to assassinate the Bengal governor Stanley Jackson in the Convocation Hall of the University of Calcutta. The revolver was supplied by another freedom fighter, Kamla Das Gupta. She fired 5 shots but failed. Her confession, which ran to 5 pages long and was written in English, was censored by the British colonial administration, but still found itself widely circulated. In it, she wrote that, "My object was to die. And if to die nobly fighting against this despotic system of government, which has kept my country in perpetual subjection to its infinite shame and endless suffering and fighting in a way which cannot but tell. I have been thinking, is life worth living in an India so subjected to wrong and continually groaning under the tyranny of a foreign government? Or is it not better to make one's supreme protest against it by offering one's life away? Would not the immolation of a daughter of India and of a son of England awaken India to the sin of its acquiescence to its continued state of subjection and England to the iniquities of its proceedings? 32 Binod Bihari Chaudhary. 32 Binod Bihari Chaudhary. 32 Binod Bihari Chaudhary. Born on the 10th of January 1911, Chittagong, Bangladesh. Died on the 10th of April 2013, Kolkata, West Bengal, India. Binod Bihari Chaudhary. Bengali. Binoda Bihari Chaudhary. 10 January 1911, 10 April 2013. Was a Bangladeshi social worker and an anti-colonial revolutionary. He was influential in the Indian independence movement and a veteran member of the Civil Society of Bangladesh. He is mostly known for his participation in the Chittagong Armory Raid, an armed resistance movement led by Surya Sen to uproot the British colonial rule from British India in 1930. Born in 1911 in Chittagong, Binod Bihari was the last surviving revolutionary from the Chittagong Armory Raid and was active in many significant events in the history of Bangladesh. In 2000, he received the Independence Day Award, the highest civilian award in Bangladesh. 33 Bipin Chandra Pal. 33 Bipin Chandra Pal. 33 Bipin Chandra Pal. Born on the 7th of November 1858, Bengal Presidency, India. Died on the 20th of May 1932, Calcutta, India. A staunch nationalist, he was a founding member of the Swadeshi movement and campaigned for complete Swaraj Swadeshi movement. Pal is known as the father of revolutionary thoughts in India and was one of the freedom fighters of
India.
Bipin Chandra Pal made a strong plea for repeal of the Arms Act, which was discriminatory in nature. Along with Lala Lajpat Rai and Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he belonged to the Lal Bal Pal trio that was associated with revolutionary activity. Sri Aurobindo Ghosh and Pal were recognized as the chief exponents of a new national movement, revolving around the ideals of Purna Swaraj, Swadeshi, boycott and national education. His program consisted of Swadeshi, boycott and national education. He preached and encouraged the use of Swadeshi and the boycott of foreign goods to eradicate poverty and unemployment. He wanted to remove social evils from the form and arouse the feelings of nationalism through national criticism. 34 Chandra Shekhar Azad. 34 Chandra Shekhar Azad. 34 Chandra Shekhar Azad. Born on the 23rd of July 1906, Alirajpur, Madhya Pradesh, India. Died on the 27th of February 1931, age 24, Alfred Park, Uttar Pradesh, India. Chandrasekhar Azad was one of the greatest minds of Indian independence movement. He was the mentor of many freedom fighters including Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev Thapar, and Shivram Rajguru. Chandrasekhar Azad was originally Chandrasekhar Tiwari. He was also known as Chandrasekhar Azad or Chandrasekhar. He was involved in several incidents including Kakori train robbery, assembly bomb incident, shooting of Saunders at Lahore, and to avenge the killing of Lala Lajpat Rai. He was born on the 23rd of July 1906 in Bhabra, Madhya Pradesh, and was the son of Pandit Sitaram Tiwari and Jagrani Devi. At Bhavra he received his early education and for higher studies, he went to Sanskrit Pathshala, Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. He got involved in revolutionary activities at a very young age. Mahatma Gandhi that time launched a non-cooperation movement and he joined it. He got his first punishment at an age of 15 years when he was caught by the Britishers and sentenced to 15 whiplashes. Jallianwala Bagh Massacre. 1919. Deeply disappointed Chandrasekhar Azad. Mahatma Gandhi launched the non-cooperation movement in 1921 and Chandrasekhar Azad participated actively in it. But due to the Chauri Chora incident, Gandhiji suspended the non-cooperation movement in February 1922. That came as a blow to the nationalist sentiments of Azad. He then decided Hindustan Republican Association out of a sense of patriotism and took part in several national interest activities including Kakori train robbery, assembly bomb incident, shooting of Saunders at Lahore, and to avenge the killing of Lala Lajpat Rai. He wanted complete independence for India in any which way. He was betrayed by one of his associates and was besieged by the British police. On the 27th of February 1931, he arranged a meeting with revolutionaries at Allahabad's Alfred Park. He fought with bravery but, seeing no other way to escape, he shot himself and fulfilled his pledge of not being caught alive. To commemorate the bravery of Chandrasekhar Azad, after independence, Alfred Park in Allahabad was renamed as Chandrasekhar Azad Park. He lived only for 25 years, but his role played in India's independence is not forgettable and inspired several Indians to take part in India's freedom struggle. 35 Chittaranjan Das. 35 Chittaranjan Das. 35 Chittaranjan Das. Born on the 5th of November 1870, Calcutta, India. Died on the 16th of June 1925, West Bengal, India. Chittaranjan Das. 5 November 1870, 16 June 1925. Popularly called Deshbandhu. Friend of the nation.
Alpviram.
Was an Indian freedom fighter, political activist and lawyer during the Indian independence movement and founder leader of the Swaraj Party, Independence Party, in Bengal during the period of British colonial rule in India. His name is abbreviated as C.R. Das. 36 Chaudhary Satyanarayana. 36 Chaudhary Satyanarayana. 36 Chaudhary Satyanarayana. Born on July 13, 1908, S.M. Puran, Andhra Pradesh, India. Chowdhury Satyanarayana. July 13, 1908, July 15, 1981.
Alpviram.
Also known as Jananayak Chaudhary Satyanarayana, was an Indian freedom fighter, anti-colonial nationalist, politician, legislator in Andhra Pradesh Assembly. 1955-62, 1967-72. And a civil rights activist. Born and raised in a Hindu zamindar family who belongs to Kalinga community. Was from Srikakulam, a coastal district in Andhra Pradesh. He was well known as Cycle MLA in Srikakulam district as he used only cycle to commute even when he was serving as the member of Legislative Assembly, Andhra Pradesh, and always led a simple life. 37 Dadabhai Naroji. 37 Dadabhai Naroji. 37 Dadabhai Naroji. Born on Dodi Navsari, Bombay, India. Died on the 30th of June 1917, Bombay, India. Known as the Grand Old Man of India, Dadabhai Naroji was born in Navsari, Gujarat within a Parsi Zoroastrian family. He was an Indian political leader, merchant, scholar and writer who was a Liberal Party Member of Parliament in the United Kingdom House of Commons between 1892 and 1895 and the first Asian to be a British MP. Other than the Anglo-Indian MP David Ochterlony Dye Somber, who was disenfranchised for corruption after 9 months in office. Naroji is renowned for his work in the Indian National Congress, of which he was one of the founding members and thrice, in 1886, 1893, and 1906, elected president. Dadabhai Naroji is regarded as one of the most important Indians during the birth of the nascent independence movement. In his writings, he came to the conclusion that the exertion of foreign rule over India was not favorable for the nation, and that independence, or at the very least, responsible government would be the better path for India. 38 Dhan Singh Gurjar. 38 Dhan Singh Gurjar. 38 Dhan Singh Gurjar. Born on Panchali, Meerut, Uttar Pradesh, India. Died on the 4th of July 1857, Meerut, Uttar Pradesh, India. Role in the 1857 rebellion. On the 10th of May 1857, a rebellion against the East India Company rule broke out in Meerut during the 1857 uprising. As the Kotwal of the city, Dhan Singh's job was to protect the city. However, many of his officers deserted his force on that day, either to join the rebellion or to escape the rebels' fury. The city saw large-scale rioting, plunder and murder, when two of his chowkidars, guards, apprehended 2 men for stealing horses. He asked them not to make arrests, fearing reprisals from the rebels. Around midnight, he was called to the house of a Bengali man, which was being plundered by a huge group of armed Gurjars. Dhan Singh's chokadars arrested 2 of the plunderers, but Singh restrained them from using force against the Gurjars. He then released the 2 men with the loot, after the group agreed to go away. Dhan Singh and several other policemen later deserted the police force. Kotwali. He is believed to have led thousands of villagers from all across the Meerut district to the cities. Jail. According to the official records, the rebels released 839 prisoners from the jail. These prisoners were among the rebels who participated in the siege of Delhi. 39 Dhiram Chinnamale. 39 Dhiram Chinnamale. 39 Dhiram Chinnamale. Born on the 17th of April 1756, Kangain, Tamil Nadu, India. Died on the 31st of July 1805, Salem, Tamil Nadu, India. Paliga Wars. Chinnamale is one of the commanders in the Paliga Wars, notably during the Second Paliga War that took place in 1801 to 1802. After Kattabomman and Tipu Sultan's deaths in 1799, Chinnamale sought the help of Dhondia Wagh and Maruthu Pandiyar and lead the local Patikaras, notably Varanavasi Gondar and Vela Gondar of Erode. Chinnamalai's sister's husband Kumara Velle of Perundurai and Somaduri Muchadiyandi Vanaraya Gondar of Polachi, Vetuva Gondar Patikaras Apache Gondar of Paramathi Velur and Aravakurichi Priyatambi. The Nikkar Paligas of Dhali, Virupakshi and Ramagiri among others, to attack the British at Coimbatore in 1800. British forces managed to stop the armies of the Allies and hence Chinnamale was forced to attack Coimbatore along with the above Paligas of Kongu Nadu. His army was defeated and he escaped from the British forces. Chinnamale engaged in guerrilla warfare and defeated the British in battles at Kaveri in 1801, Odanilai Kangaing in 1802 and Arachalur in 1804. 40 Dinesh Gupta. 40 Dinesh Gupta. 40 Dinesh Gupta. Born on the 6th of December 1911, Bikrampur, India. Died on the 7th of July 1931, Alipore Jail, Calcutta, India. Dinesh Chandra Gupta. Bengali. Dinesh Kendra Gupta, Dinesh Conro Gupto, और दिनेश गुप्ता 6 दिसंबर 1911, 7 जुलाई 1931, was an Indian revolutionary against British rule in India, who is noted for launching an attack on the Secretariat building, the Writers' Building in The Dalhousie Square in Calcutta, along with Badal Gupta and Binoy Basu. Rabindra Sangeet exponent and trainer Maya Sen, maiden name Gupta, was his own niece. Even he suggested his sister-in-law Ashalata Gupta to let Maya learn Rabindra Sangeet. His nephew and Maya's brother Dr. Tapan Gupta was a doctor and established the Tagorians in London. Mr. Gupta's daughter is an MBE. Tanika Gupta, a playwright and regularly works for BBC and the stage in England. 41 Durgavati Devi. 41 Durgavati Devi. 41 Durgavati Devi. Born on the 7th of October 1907, Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh, India. Died on the 15th of October 1999, Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh, India. Durgavati Devi. 7 October 1907, 15 October 1999. Popularly known as Durga Bhabhi, was an Indian revolutionary and freedom fighter. She was one of the few women revolutionaries who actively participated in armed revolution against the ruling British Raj. She is best known for having accompanied Bhagat Singh on the train journey in which he made his escape in disguise after the killing of John P. Saunders. Since she was the wife of another Hindustan Socialist Republican Association (HSRA) member Bhagwati Charan Bora, other members of HSRA referred to her as Bhabhi, elder brother's wife, and became popular as Durga Bhabhi in Indian revolutionary circles. 42 Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad. 42 Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad. 42 Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad. Born on the 13th of May 1905, Delhi, India. Died on the 11th of February 1977, New Delhi, India. He met Jawaharlal Nehru in England in 1925. He joined the Indian National Congress and actively participated in the Indian freedom movement. In 1942 he was arrested during the Quit India movement and sentenced to 3 jor half a year imprisonment. He was a member of the Assam Pradesh Congress Committee from 1936 and of AICC from 1947 to 1974, and remained the Minister of Finance, Revenue and Labour in 1948 Gopinath Bordoloi ministry. He was an Indian lawyer and politician who served as the 5th President of India from 1974 to 1977. 43 Ganesh Damodar Savarkar. 43 Ganesh Damodar Savarkar. 43 Ganesh Damodar Savarkar. Born on the 13th of June 1879 Bhagur, Maharashtra, India. Died on the 16th of March 1945 Bombay Presidency, Maharashtra, India. Ganesh was the eldest of the Savarkar brothers, Ganesh, Vinayak, and Narayan. They also had a sister Manabai, who was the penultimate child of their parents, Narayan being the youngest. 107 His parents' death laid the liability of his family at an age of 20 years. The Savarkar brothers, left to right, Narayan, Ganesh and Vinayak, with Shanta, sister Maina Kale and Yamuna. He led an armed movement against the British colonial government in India. He was sentenced to transportation for life as a result. The then collector of Nasik, Jackson, was assassinated by Anant Laxman Kanhaiya in retaliation. 117 Dhananjay Keer describes Jackson as part of the oppressive machinery of the British Empire, and responsible for deporting Baba Rao. 197. 44 Ganesh Ghosh. 44 Ganesh Ghosh. 44 Ganesh Ghosh. Born on the 22nd of June 1900 Bengal Province, India. Died on the 16th of October 1994 Calcutta, West Bengal, India. Ganesh Ghosh born in a Kaistha family which hailed from Chittagong, now in Bangladesh. In 1922, he took admission in the Bengal Technical Institute in Calcutta. Later, he became a member of the Chittagong Jugantar Party.
Opening square bracket.
Citation needed. He participated in the Chittagong Armory raid, along with Surya Sen and other revolutionaries on the 18th of April 1930. He fled from Chittagong and took shelter in Chandannagar, Hooghly. After few days, Police Commissioner Charles Teggett attacked the safe house of them in Chandannagar and arrested him. One young fellow revolutionary, Jeevan Ghoshal alias Makan, was killed by the police at time of arrest operation. 45 George Joseph, Kerala. 45 George Joseph, Kerala. 45 George Joseph, Kerala. Born on the 5th of June 1887 Chenganur, Kerala, India. Died on the 5th of March 1938, Madras, India. George Joseph, 5 June 1887 5 March 1938, was a lawyer and Indian independence activist. One of the earliest and among the most prominent Syrian Christians from Kerala to join the freedom struggle. Joseph's working life in Madurai and is remembered for his role in the Home Rule agitation and The Vaka Satyagraha and for his editorship of Motilal Nehru's The Independent and Mahatma Gandhi's Young India. 46 Hafizur Rahman Wasif Dehlavi. 46 Hafizur Rahman Wasif Dehlavi. 46 Hafizur Rahman Wasif Dehlavi. Born on the 10th of February 1910 Shahjahanpur, Uttar Pradesh, India. Died on the 13th of March 1987 Delhi, India. Hafizur Rahman Wasif Dehlavi, 10 February 1910 13 March 1987, was an Indian Muslim scholar, jurist, literary critic, and a poet of the Urdu language, who served as the rector of Madrasa Aminiya from 1955 to 1979. He participated in the Indian freedom struggle movement and authored books such as Adabi Bul Bulayan, Urdu Mazda Nama and Tazkira-e-Sai. He compiled the religious edicts of his father Kifayatullah Dehlavi as Kifayat al-Mufti in 9 volumes. 47 Hakim Ajmal Khan. 47 Hakim Ajmal Khan. 47 Hakim Ajmal Khan. Born on the 11th of February 1868 Delhi, India. Died on the 20th of December 1927 Delhi, India. Muhammad Ajmal Khan. 11 फरवरी 1868, 29 दिसंबर 1927.
अल्पविराम.
Better known as Hakim Ajmal Khan, was a physician in Delhi, India, and one of the founders of the Jamia Millia Islamia University. He also founded another institution, Ayurvedic and Unani Tibbiya College, better known as Tibbiya College, situated in Karol Bagh, Delhi. He was the only Muslim to chair a session of the Hindu Mahasabha. He became the university's first chancellor in 1920 and remained in office until his death in 1927. 48 Habibur Rahman, Indian National Army Officer. 48 Habibur Rahman, Indian National Army Officer. 48 Habibur Rahman, Indian National Army Officer. Born on the 22nd of December 1913, Bhimbar, Azad, Pakistan. Died on 1978, Bhimbar, Azad, Pakistan. He was an army officer in the Indian National Army,
INA,
who was charged with waging war against His Majesty the King Emperor. He served as Subhas Chandra Bose's Chief of Staff in Singapore, and accompanied Bose on his last fatal flight from Taipei to Tokyo, sharing the last moments of his life. 49 Seth Harachandrai Vishandas. 49 Seth Harachandrai Vishandas. 49 Seth Harachandrai Vishandas. Born on the 1st of May 1862, Bombay Presidency, India. Died on the 16th of February 1928, Delhi, India. Harchandrai was the first Sindhi to join the Indian National Congress and served the cause of national independence with dedication. He was influential in Congress. The 28th session of Congress in 1913 was held in Karachi largely due to the efforts of Harchandrai, his father Seth Vishandas and Ghulam Muhammad Ghurgari. He and his father served as chairman and secretary of reception committee for that session, and he later presided over many Congress conferences in Sindh. Harchandrai was a believer of Hindu-Muslim unity and was a Sufistic. The Theosophical Society made him a member. 50 Hai Krishna Konar. 50 Hai Krishna Konar. 50 Hai Krishna Konar. Born on the 5th of August 1915, Kamargoria village, Bengal Presidency, India. Died on the 23rd of July 1974, Kolkata, West Bengal, India. Hai Krishna Konar. Bengali. Hare Krishna Konara, Romanized. Hare Krishna Konara, Hare Kranena. Listen.
semicolon,
5 अगस्त 1915, 23 जुलाई 1974. Was an Indian Marxist revolutionary, radical activist and communist politician. Konar was a founding member of Communist Party of India, Marxist,
अल्पविराम,
and the leader to start the first land reforms and agrarian reforms in India as well as the chief architect of the West Bengal land and property distribution in 1930 for making arms and bombs for the Juventud group. He was deported to the cellular jail for 6 years at the age of 18 and there he took part in the first hunger strike, and in 1935 he founded the Communist Consolidation and led the historical Second Hunger Strike. Konar was the mentor of freedom fighters like Batakshwar Dutt, Shiv Verma, Sachindranath Sanyal, Ganesh Ghosh, etc. 51 Hridyaram Mahashe. 51 Hridyaram Mahashe. 51 Hridyaram Mahashe. Born on the 7th of April 1925, Uttar Pradesh, India. Died on post-Ek No Char Saat period. After the Indian independence, in 1947, Singh joined the job in glass manufacturing company Sri Ganga Glass. He started social work for social reform. He had a very close relationship with the glass factory owner. With the help of the factory owner, he built the Ganga Ghat at Balawali, Bijnor, for the devotees to take a bath in the holy river Ganges. After the death of the owner of the Ganga Glass factory in the 1980, his son closed the factory forever. Thousands of laborers became unemployed in a single day. He joined the Bharatiya Kisan Union for the upliftment of the farmers and staged dharna several times to fulfill the interests of the farmers and their demands. 52 Hemchandra Kanungo. 52 Hemchandra Kanungo. 52 Hemchandra Kanungo. Born on the 4th of August 1871, Medinipur, West Bengal, India. Died on the 8th of April 1951, Medinipur, West Bengal, India. Hemchandra Das Kanungo. 4 अगस्त 1871, 8 अप्रैल 1951. Was an Indian nationalist and a member of the Anushilan Samiti. Kanungo traveled to Paris in 1907, where he learned the technique of assembling picric acid bombs from exiled Russian revolutionaries. Kanungo's knowledge was disseminated throughout Indian nationalist organizations in the Raj and abroad. In 1908, Kanungo was one of the principal co-accused with Arbindo Ghosh in the Alipur bomb case. 1908-09. He was sentenced to transportation for life in the Andamans, but was released in 1921. 53 Hemu Kalani. 53 Hemu Kalani. 53 Hemu Kalani. Born on the 23rd of March 1923, Bombay Presidency, India. Died on the 21st of January 1943, Bombay Presidency, India. Hemu Kalani. Sindhi. The 23rd of March 1923 to the 21st of January 1943. Was a revolutionary and freedom fighter during the Indian independence movement. He was a leader of Swaraj Sena, a student organization which was affiliated with All India Students Federation, AISF. He was one of the youngest revolutionaries to be martyred for the nation's freedom struggle, being executed by the British colonial authorities when he was only 19, 2 months before his 20th birthday. 54 Inayatullah Khan Mashriqi. 54 Inayatullah Khan Mashriqi. 54 Inayatullah Khan Mashriqi. Born on the 25th of August 1888, Amritsar, Punjab, India. Died on the 27th of August 1963, Lahore, Punjab, Pakistan. Inayatullah Khan Mashriqi. Urdu. August 1888, 27 August 1963. Also known by the honorary title Allama Mashriqi.
अल्पविराम.
Was a British Indian, and later, Pakistani mathematician, logician, political theorist, Islamic scholar and the founder of the Khaksar movement. Around 1930, he founded the Khaksar movement, a well-mannered, disciplined, modern organization with 10 lakhs members in all over British India, aiming to advance the condition of the masses irrespective of any faith, sect, or religion. 55 Jatindranath Das. 55 Jatindranath Das. 55 Jatindranath Das. Born on the 27th of October 1904, Calcutta, Bengal, India. Died on the 13th of September 1929, Lahore, Punjab, Pakistan. Hunger strike. In Lahore jail, Das began another hunger strike along with other revolutionary fighters, demanding equality for Indian political prisoners with those from Europe. The conditions of Indian inhabitants of the jails was deplorable. The uniforms that Indian prisoners were required to wear in jail with were not washed for several days, and rats and cockroaches roamed the kitchen area, making the food unsafe to eat. Indian prisoners were not provided with any reading material such as newspapers, nor paper to write on. The condition of the British prisoners in the same jail was strikingly different. Das's hunger strike started on the 13th of July 1929 and lasted 63 days. The jail authority took measures to forcibly feed him and the other independence activists. Eventually, the jail authority recommended his unconditional release, but the government rejected the suggestion and offered to release him on bail. Das died on the 13th of September 1929. Durgavati Devi led the funeral procession, which went from Lahore to Calcutta by train. Thousands of people rushed to the railway stations to pay homage to Das. A 2-mile-long procession in Calcutta carried the coffin to the cremation ground. It was Subhash Chandra Bose who received the coffin of Das at Howrah railway station and led the funeral procession to the cremation ground. The hunger strike of Das in prison was one crucial moment in the resistance against illegal detentions. 56 Jawaharlal Nehru. 56 Jawaharlal Nehru. 56 Jawaharlal Nehru. Born on the 14th of November 1889, Allahabad, India. Died on the 27th of May 1964, New Delhi, India. Jawaharlal Nehru. Nehru, Ru.
Opening square bracket.
Ek. Hindi. Opening square bracket. Devherlal Nehru.
Koshtek.
Listen.
Semicolon.
Jawaharlal Nehru. 14 नवंबर 1889 27 मई 1964 was an Indian anti-colonial nationalist, secular humanist, social democrat and author who was a central figure in India during the middle of the 20th century. Nehru was a principal leader of the Indian nationalist movement in the 1930 and 1940. Upon India's independence in 1947, he served as the country's prime minister for 16 years. Nehru promoted parliamentary democracy, secularism, and science and technology during the 1950s, powerfully influencing India's arc as a modern nation. In international affairs, he steered India clear of the two blocs of the Cold War. A well-regarded author. His books written in prison, such as Letters from a Father to His Daughter, 1929, an autobiography, 1936, and The Discovery of India, 1946, have been read around the world. During his lifetime, the honorific Pandit was commonly applied before his name in India. 57 Jai Rajaguru. 57 Jai Rajaguru. 57 Jai Rajaguru. Born on the 29th of October 1739, Puri, Orissa, India. Died on the 6th of December 1806, Medinipur, Bengal Presidency, India. Jayakrushna Rajaguru Mohapatra. 29 अक्टूबर 1739, 6 दिसंबर 1806. Popularly known as Jai Rajaguru, was a prominent figure of the Indian independence movement in the state of Orissa. A princely priest by profession at the court of the Kurda kingdom, Rajaguru revolted against the British East India Company in the province, whilst collaborating with the Marathas to recapture the British-controlled province. A Maratha messenger was caught by the British and Rajaguru's secret strategies got exposed. Upon failure of his removal from the king's court, a British force attacked the fort of Kurda and captured Rajaguru. He was later sentenced to death and executed in Bagitota, Midnapur. 58 Jogesh Chandra Chatterjee. 58 Jogesh Chandra Chatterjee. 58 Jogesh Chandra Chatterjee. Born on 1895, West Bengal, India. Died on 1969, West Bengal, India. Jogesh Chandra became a member of the Anushilan Samiti. He was one of the founder members of Hindustan Republican Association, HRA,
Koshtek.
in 1924. That later became Hindustan Socialist Republican Association.
Opening square bracket.
8. He was arrested several times for revolutionary activities. He was tried in the Kakori conspiracy case in 1926 and received rigorous imprisonment for life. He wrote 2 books: 1. Indian Revolutionaries in Conference, 2. In Search of Freedom, as biography. In 1937, Jogesh Chandra joined Congress Socialist Party but left it very shortly and formed a new party in 1940 with the name of Revolutionary Socialist Party, of which he remained the General Secretary from 1940 to 1953. He was the Vice President of United Trades Union Congress, the trade union wing of RSP, from 1949 to 1953, and United Socialist Organization for the year 1949 only. After independence,
However,
he returned to the Congress and became a member of the Rajya Sabha from Uttar Pradesh in 1956. 59 Kali Charan Banerjee. 59 Kali Charan Banerjee. 59 Kali Charan Banerjee. Born on 1847, Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh, India. Died on 1907. He being a fine orator and representative of Bengali Christian community. He joined the Indian National Congress in 1885 and regularly addressed the Congress annual sessions in molding the policy of national movement. Rev. Kalicharan Banerjee along with G.
C.
Nath from Lahore and Peter Paul Pillai from Madras, present Chennai,
Alpviram.
represented Indian Christians at the 4 sessions of the Congress between 1888 and 1891 and became a prominent leader in the Congress in the early years of formation. 60 Kalpana Datta. 60 Kalpana Datta. 60 Kalpana Datta. Born on the 27th of July 1913, Chittagong, Bangladesh, India. Died on the 8th of February 1995, Calcutta, West Bengal, India. Armed Independence Movement. The Chittagong Armory raid was carried out on the 18th of April 1930.
Opening square bracket.
Citation needed. Kalpana joined the Indian Republican Army Chittagong branch, the armed resistance group led by Surya Sen, in May 1931. In September 1931, Surya Sen entrusted her along with Pretilata Wardar to attack the European club in Chittagong. A week before the attack, she was arrested while carrying out reconnaissance of the area. She went into hiding after her release on bail. On the 16th of February 1933, the police encircled their hiding place in Garila village. During this raid, Surya Sen was arrested but Kalpana managed to escape. To free Surya, she tried to bomb the jail with explosives but failed. Kalpana was finally arrested on the 19th of May 1933. In the second supplementary trial of the Chittagong Armory raid case, Kalpana was sentenced to transportation for life. She was released in 1939. Citation needed. 61 Kamal Nath Tiwari. 61 Kamal Nath Tiwari. 61 Kamal Nath Tiwari. Born on the 29th of March 1907, East Champaran, Bihar. Died on the 17th of January 1974, Delhi, India. Kamal Nath Tiwari, 29 March 1907, 17 January 1974, was an Indian politician. He was elected to the Lok Sabha, the lower house of the Parliament of India from Betia, Bihar, as a member of the Indian National Congress. He was a freedom fighter and was imprisoned by the British in 1941 and again from 1942 to 46. 62 Kamarajar. 62 Kamarajar. 62 Kamarajar. Born on the 15th of July 1903, Madras Presidency, India. Died on the 2nd of October 1975, Madras, India. Kamarajar was an Indian independence activist and politician who served as the Chief Minister of Madras State, Tamil Nadu, from the 13th of April 1954 to the 2nd of October 1963. He was the founder and the president of the Indian National Congress organization, widely acknowledged as the kingmaker in Indian politics during the 1960s. He also served as the president of the Indian National Congress for 2 terms i.e. 4 years between 1964 to 1967 and was responsible for the elevation of Lal Bahadur Shastri to the position of Prime Minister of India after Nehru's death and Indira Gandhi after Shastri's death. He was the Member of Parliament, Lok Sabha during 1952 to 1954, and 1969 to 1975. He was known for his simplicity and integrity. He played a major role in developing the infrastructure of the Madras state and worked to improve the quality of life of the needy and the disadvantaged. 63 Kartar Singh Sarabha. 63 Kartar Singh Sarabha. 63 Kartar Singh Sarabha. Born on the 24th of May 1896, Punjab, India. Died on the 16th of November 1915, Central Jail, Lahore, Punjab, India. When the Ghadar party was founded in mid-1918 with Sohan Singh, a Sikh from Bhakna village in the Amritsar district, as president and Lala Hardyal as secretary, Kartar Singh stopped his university work, moved in with Lala Hardyal and became his helpmate in running the revolutionary newspaper Ghadar Revolt. He undertook the responsibility for printing of the Gurmukhi edition of the paper. He composed patriotic poetry for it and wrote articles. On the 15th of July 1913, the Punjabi Indians of California assembled and formed the Ghadar Party. Revolution Party. The aim of the Ghadar Party was to get rid of British rule in India by means of an armed struggle. On the 1st of November 1913, the Ghadar Party started printing a paper named Ghadar, which was published in Punjabi, Hindi, Urdu, Bengali, Gujarati and Pashto languages. Kartar Singh was quite heavily involved in the publishing of that paper. This paper was sent to Indians living in all countries throughout the world. Its purpose was to convince both Indians and the Indian diaspora to support the freedom movement. Within a short time, the Ghadar Party became famous through the Ghadar. It drew Indians from all walks of life. 64 Qazi Nazrul Islam. 64 Qazi Nazrul Islam. 64 Qazi Nazrul Islam. Born on 1306 Bengal Presidency, India. Died on the 29th of August 1976 Dhaka, Bangladesh. Qazi Nazrul Islam. Bengali, the 26th of May 1899 to the 29th of August 1976. Was an Indian Bangladeshi poet, writer, musician, and is the national poet of the People's Republic of Bangladesh. Nazrul is regarded as one of the greatest poets in Bengali literature. Popularly known as Nazrul, he produced a large body of poetry, music, messages, novels, stories, etc., with themes that included equality, justice, anti-imperialism, humanity, rebellion against oppression and religious devotion. Nazrul's activism for political and social justice, as well as writing a poem titled as Bidrohi, meaning the rebel, in Bengali, earned him the title of Bidrohi Kobi, rebel poet. His compositions form the avant-garde music genre of Nazrul Giti, music of Nazrul. 65 Khudiram Bose. 65 Khudiram Bose. 65 Khudiram Bose. Born on the 3rd of December 1889, Bengal Presidency, India. Died on the 11th of August 1908, Bengal Presidency, India. Khudiram Bose, also spelled Khudiram Basu.
Koshtek.
3 December 1889, 11 August 1908. Was an Indian revolutionary from Bengal Presidency who opposed British rule of India. For his role in the Muzaffarpur conspiracy case, along with Prafulla Chaki, he was sentenced to death and subsequently executed, making him one of the youngest martyrs of the Indian independence movement. Khudiram, along with Prafulla Chaki, attempted to assassinate a British judge, Magistrate Douglas Kingsford, by throwing bombs on the carriage they suspected the man was in. Magistrate Kingsford,
However,
was seated in a different carriage, and the throwing of bombs resulted in the deaths of 2 British women. Prafulla fatally shot himself before the arrest. Khudiram was arrested and trialed for the murder of the 2 women, ultimately being sentenced to death. He was one of the first Indian revolutionaries in Bengal to be executed by the British. 66 Kittur Chennamma. 66 Kittur Chennamma. 66 Kittur Chennamma. Born on the 14th of November 1778, Karnataka, India. Died on the 21st of February 1829, Bombay Presidency, India. Kittur Chennamma. 14 November 1778, 21 February 1829.
opening square bracket.
8. Was the Indian Queen, Rani of Kittur, a former princely state in present-day Karnataka. She led an armed resistance against the British East India Company in 1824. In defiance of the paramountcy, in an attempt to retain control over her dominion, she defeated the company in the first revolt, but died as a prisoner of war after the second rebellion. As one of the first and few female rulers to lead rebel forces against British colonization, she continues to be remembered as a folk hero in Karnataka. She is also an important symbol of the Indian. 67 Kornaram Bhim. 67 Kornaram Bhim. 67 Kornaram Bhim. Born on 1900 Hyderabad, India. Died on 1940 Hyderabad, India. Komaram Bhim. 1901-1940.
Alpviram.
Alternatively, Kumram Bhim was a revolutionary leader in Hyderabad state of British India from the Gond tribes. Bhim, in association with other Gond leaders, led a protracted low-intensity rebellion against the feudal nizams of Hyderabad in the eastern part of the princely state during the 1930s, which contributed in the culmination of the Telangana rebellion of 1946. He was killed by armed policemen in 1940. Subsequently lionized as a symbol of rebellion, and eulogized in Adivasi and Telugu folklore. Bhim is deified as a pen in Gond culture and is credited for coining the slogan Jal, Jungle, Zameen, Transal, water, forest, land. 68 Krishanji Gopal Karve. 68 Krishanji Gopal Karve. 68 Krishanji Gopal Karve. Born on 1887, Nasik, Maharashtra, India. Died on the 19th of April 1910, Thane, Indi. Krishanji Gopal Karve. 1887, 19 अप्रैल 1910. Was an Indian freedom fighter, a revolutionary. He had completed his
A. Koshtik.
honors and had taken admission to LLB in Mumbai University. He was a member of the Abhinav Bharat Society in Nashik. On the 21st of December 1909, he along with Anant Laxman Kanhia and Vinayak Narayan Deshpande shot Jackson, the collector of Nashik. He was sentenced to death in the Bombay High Court and hanged in Thane jail on the 19th of April 1910. 69 Badu Kumwar Singh. 69 Badu Kumwar Singh. 69 Badu Kumwar Singh. Born on the 13th of November 1777, West Bengal, India. Died on the 26th of April 1858, Bengal Presidency, India. Ole in the 1857 rebellion. A miniature portrait of Kumwar Singh, watercolor on ivory, c. 1857. Kumwar Singh and his attendants. Singh led the Indian Rebellion of 1857 in Bihar. He was nearly 80 and in failing health when he was called upon to take up arms. He was assisted by both his brother, Babu Amar Singh, and his commander-in-chief, Hai Krishna Singh. Some argue that the latter was the real reason behind Kumwar Singh's initial military success. He gave a good fight and harried British forces for nearly a year and remained invincible until the end. He was an expert in the art of guerrilla warfare. His tactics left the British puzzled. 70 Kushal Kombar. 70 Kushal Kombar. 70 Kushal Kombar. Born on the 21st of March 1905, Assam, India. Died on the 15th of June 1943, Assam, India. Quit India Movement. On the 8th of August 1942, the Congress Working Committee in its meeting in Bombay passed the Quit India Resolution. This resolution demanded complete withdrawal of the British from the India's soil. Mahatma Gandhi gave the call of do or die to the people of India. The British reacted by arresting Mahatma and all the Congress leaders and putting them in jails. Across India, this sparked a widespread mass movement against the British. Cutting across caste, creed, and religion, people came out to the streets shouting the slogan of Vande Mataram. In spite of Gandhiji's appeal for peaceful non-cooperation and dharna, in many regions the movement erupted in violence, with people burning offices and damaging government properties, disrupting road, rail, and telecommunication networks. 71 Lala Lajpat Rai. 71 Lala Lajpat Rai. 71 Lala Lajpat Rai. Born on the 28th of January 1865, Punjab, India. Died on the 17th of November 1928, Lahore, Punjab, Pakistan. Lala Lajpat Rai. 28 जनवरी 1865, 17 नवंबर 1928. Was an Indian author, freedom fighter, and politician. He played a vital role in the Indian independence movement. He was popularly known as Punjab Kesari. He was one of the three members of the Lal Bal Pal Trimurti. He was also associated with activities of Punjab National Bank and Lakshmi Insurance Company in their early stages in 1894. He died of a heart attack few weeks after sustaining severe injuries during a baton charge by police when he led a peaceful protest march against the All-British Simon Commission Indian constitutional reform. 72 Maulvi Liaquat Ali. 72 Maulvi Liaquat Ali. 72 Maulvi Liaquat Ali. Born on 1817, Uttar Pradesh, India. Died on the 17th of May 1892, Yangon, Myanmar. Maulvi Liaquat Ali, 1817-1892, was a Muslim religious leader from Allahabad, Prayagraj, in the state of Uttar Pradesh in present-day India. He was one of the leaders in the revolt against the British in 1857, in what is now known as the First Indian War of Independence, or the Uprising of 1857. As one of the most prominent leaders, Maulvi Liaquat Ali belonged to village Magao in Pargana Chilab district, Prayagraj. He was a religious teacher, an upright pious Muslim, and a man of great courage and valor. His family traced their descent from the Zainabi Jafri branch of Hasmis, which had their offshoots at Jaunpur and other places. He was a humble and simple man, but when he took the reins of the freedom struggle, he became a dreadful enemy of the British. 73 Loknath Bal. 73 Loknath Bal. 73 Loknath Bal. Born on the 8th of March 1908 Chittagong, Bangladesh. Died on the 4th of September 1964 Calcutta, West Bengal, India. Loknath Bal was born in Dorla village of Chittagong district in Bengal province of British India. His father's name was Prankrishna Bal. On the 18th of April 1930, a group of revolutionaries led by him took over the Afi Armory. Later, on the 22nd of April 1930, he led another gunfight with a combined forces comprising the British Army and the British Police. His younger brother Harigopal Bal, Tegra, and another 11 revolutionaries died in this gunfight. He was able to escape and reach Chandernagar, a French territory. He and Ganesh Ghosh were arrested on the 1st of September 1930 after a gunfight with the British police. Jeevan Ghoshal alias Makan, his young associate, died in this gunfight. He was sentenced to transportation for life on the 1st of March 1932 and sent to the cellular jail in Port Blair. After his release in 1946, he joined the Radical Democratic Party founded by Manabendra Nath Roy. Later, he joined the Indian National Congress. 74 Madan Lal Dhingra. 74 Madan Lal Dhingra. 74 Madan Lal Dhingra. Born on the 18th of February 1883 Amritsar, Punjab, India. Died on the 17th of August 1909 London, England. Madan Lal Dhingra was born on the 18th of February 1883 in Amritsar, India, in an educated and affluent Hindu Punjabi Khatri family. His father, Dr. Dita Mal Dhingra, was a civil surgeon, and Madan Lal was one of 8 children. 7 sons and 1 daughter. All 7 sons, including Dhingra, studied abroad. Dhingra studied at Amritsar in MB Intermediate College until 1900. He then went to Lahore to study at the Government College University. Here, he was influenced by the incipient nationalist movement, which at that time was about seeking home rule rather than independence. Dhingra was especially troubled by the poverty of India. He studied the literature concerning the causes of Indian poverty and famines extensively, and felt that the key issues in seeking solutions to these problems lay in Swaraj, self-government, and the Swadeshi movement. Citation needed. 75 Madhusudan Das. 75 Madhusudan Das. 75 Madhusudan Das. Born on the 28th of April 1848 Satyabhamapur, Cuttack, Orissa, India. Died on the 4th of February 1934 Cuttack, Orissa, India. Madhusudan Das. 28 April 1848 4 February 1934. Was an Indian lawyer and social reformer, who founded Utkal Sammilani in 1903 to campaign for the unification of Orissa along with its social and industrial development. He was one of the main persons, helping in the creation of Orissa province, present-day Orissa, India, which was established on the 1st of April 1936. He was also the first graduate and advocate of Orissa. He is also known as Kulavrudha, Grand Old Man, Madhu Babu, and Atkala Gauraba, Pride of Utkal. In Orissa, his birthday is celebrated as the Lawyer's Day on the 28th of April. 76 Maghfoor Ahmad Ajazi. 76 Maghfoor Ahmad Ajazi. 76 Maghfoor Ahmad Ajazi. Born on the 3rd of March 1900 Muzaffarpur, India. Died on the 26th of September 1966 Muzaffarpur, India. Pre-independence activism. Ajazi left his studies at B.N. College Patna to follow Mahatma Gandhi and joined the non-cooperation movement in 1921. He collected funds for freedom struggle through Muthiya drive. Muthiya meant to take out a muthi or fist of grain before preparing every meal to fund freedom struggle. Once he unknowingly reached the house of his cousin in a remote village. He inquired about Muthiya. He received a negative answer. His cousin recognized him and requested him to take meal, but he refused even a glass of water. When his sister promised to take out Muthiya and donated the dues, he agreed to take meal. 77 Mahmud Hassan Deobandi. 77 Mahmud Hassan Deobandi. 77 Mahmud Hassan Deobandi. Born on 1851, Bareilly, Uttar Pradesh, India. Died on the 30th of November 1920, Delhi, British India. Mahmud Hassan Deobandi, also known as Sheikh al-Hind, 18511920, was an Indian Muslim scholar and an activist of the Indian independence movement, who co-founded the Jamia Millia Islamia University and launched the Silk Letter movement for the freedom of India. He was the first student to study at the Darul Uloom Deoband Seminary. His teachers included Muhammad Qasim Nanotawi and Mahmud Deobandi, and he was authorized in Sufism by Imdadullah Muhajir Makki and Rashid Ahmad Gangohi. Hassan served as the principal of the Darul. 78 Mangal Pandey. 78 Mangal Pandey. 78 Mangal Pandey. Born on. Died the 8th of April 1857, Calcutta, West Bengal, India. Mangal Pandey was an Indian soldier who played a key part in the events immediately preceding the outbreak of the Indian Rebellion of 1857. He was a sepoy, infantryman, in the 34th Bengal Native Infantry, BNI, Regiment of the British East India Company. In 1984, the Indian government issued a postage stamp to remember him. His life and actions have also been portrayed in several cinematic productions. 79 Manmath Nath Gupta. 79 Manmath Nath Gupta. 79 Manmath Nath Gupta. Born on the 7th of February 1908, Bombay Presidency, India. Died on the 26th of October 2000, New Delhi, India. Manmath Nath Gupta, 7 फरवरी 1908 26 अक्टूबर 2000, was an Indian Marxist revolutionary writer and author of autobiographical, historical and fictional books in Hindi, English and Bengali. He joined the Indian independence movement at the age of 13 and was an active member of the Hindustan Republican Association. He participated in the famous Kakori train robbery in 1925 and was imprisoned for 14 years. On release from jail in 1937, he started writing against the British government. He was sentenced again in 1939 and was released in 1946, just a year before India's independence in 1947. He has written several books on the history of the Indian struggle for independence from a revolutionary's point of view, including They Lived Dangerously, Reminiscences of a Revolutionary. He was also the editor of the Hindi literary magazine Aajkal. 80 Matanjini Hazra. 80 Matanjini Hazra. 80 Matanjini Hazra. Born on the 19th of October 1870, Bengal Presidency, India. Died on the 29th of September 1942, Tamluk, Bengal Presidency, India. Matanjini Hazra. The 19th of October 1872, the 29th of September 1942 was an Indian revolutionary who participated in the Indian independence movement until she was shot dead by the British Indian police in front of the Tamluk police station of erstwhile Midnapur district. On the 29th of September 1942, she was affectionately known as Gandhi Buri, Bengali for Old Lady Gandhi. 81 Maviram Alagumutu Kona. 81 Maviram Alagumutu Kona. 81 Maviram Alagumutu Kona. Born on the 11th of July 1710, Kattalankulam, Tamil Nadu, India. Died on the 18th of July 1759, Nadukattur, Tamil Nadu, India. He is the first freedom fighter from Kattalankulam in Thoothukudi district. Was an early chieftain and freedom fighter against the British presence in Tamil Nadu. Born into a Yadav community family, he became a military leader in the town of Ettayapuram, and was defeated in battle there against the British and Maruthaniagam's forces. He was executed in 1759. In his memory, the government of Tamil Nadu conducts a puja ceremony every year on the 11th of July. A documentary film based on his life was released in 2012. 82 Maza Nanotavi. 82 Maza Nanotavi. 82 Maza Nanotavi. Born on 1821, Mughal, India. Died the 3rd of October 1885, Mughal, India. Maza was appointed the head teacher of Arabic department of the Government College in Varanasi by Alois Sprunger. He later headed the Arabic department of Government College, Ajmer. He also taught at the Agra College. Maza participated in the Indian freedom struggle and fought alongside Imdadullah Muhajir Maki in the Battle of Shamli. His views about working in government institutes changed after 1857. He joined the Naval Kishore Press as a copy editor and worked there for more than 7 years. His copy-edited works include Al-Ghazali's Al-Ulman Tahir Patni's Majma, Al-Baha, the latter being the major academic work of the time. In February 1867, Maza joined the Mazahir Ulum, where he taught the subjects including tafsir, hadith, fiqh, literature and history. He is credited as the founder of Mazahir Ulum for his role in its development. 83 Muhammad Farooq Chishti. 83 Muhammad Farooq Chishti. 83 Muhammad Farooq Chishti. Born on Doria, Uttar Pradesh, India. Died on 1968 Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, India. Coming from an affluent zamindar family. A leading independence activist from eastern part of Uttar Pradesh. Mr. Chishti fought for the independence of India. Actively participated in Quit India movement and was jailed many times. He strongly opposed Jinnah's two-nation theory and rejected his offer many times for ministerial positions in Pakistani government brought by Raja of Salempur. He dedicated his life to help the underprivileged and economically backward people of India. 84 Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. 84 Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. 84 Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Born on the 2nd of October 1869, Porbandar, Gujarat, India. Died on the 30th of January 1948, New Delhi, India. Who employed non-violent resistance to lead the successful campaign for India's independence from British rule, and to later inspire movements for civil rights and freedom across the world. The honorific Mahatma, Sanskrit, great souled, venerable, first applied to him in 1914 in South Africa, is now used throughout the world. Born and raised in a Hindu family in coastal Gujarat, Gandhi trained in the law at the Inner Temple, London, and was called to the bar at age 22 in June 1891. After 2 uncertain years in India, where he was unable to start a successful law practice, he moved to South Africa in 1893 to represent an Indian merchant in a lawsuit. He went on to live in South Africa for 21 years. It was here that Gandhi raised a family and first employed nonviolent resistance in a campaign for civil rights. In 1915, aged 45, he returned to India and soon set about organizing peasants, farmers, and urban laborers to protest against excessive land tax and discrimination. 85 Muhammad Qasim Nanatawi. 85 Muhammad Qasim Nanatawi. 85 Muhammad Qasim Nanatawi. Born on 1832 Nanota, Mughal Empire. Died on the 15th of April 1880 Deoband, British, India. Nanotavi was schooled at Nanota, where he memorized the Quran and learned calligraphy. Aged 9, Nanotavi moved to Deoband where he studied at the Madrasa of Karamat Hussain. The teacher at this madrasa was Mehtab Ali, the uncle of Mahmud Hassan Deobandi. Under the instruction of Mehtab Ali, Nanotavi completed the primary books of Arabic grammar and syntax. Thereafter, his mother sent him to Saharanpur, where his maternal grandfather Wajihuddin Wakil, who was a poet of Urdu and Persian, lived. Wakil enrolled his grandson in the Persian class of Muhammad Nawaz Saharanpuri, under whom Nanotavi, then aged 12, completed Persian studies. 86 Maulana Mazarul Haq. 86 Maulana Mazarul Haq. 86 Maulana Mazarul Haq. Born on the 22nd of December 1866, Patna, Bihar, India. Died on the 2nd of January 1930, Sarab, Bihar, India. He was active in the Treaty of Indian National Congress and Muslim League in 1916. Citation needed. He joined the Home Rule movement started by Annie Besant in 1916 and actively participated in the Champaran Satyagraha in 1917. Mahatma Gandhi's guest hospitality came to Patna for Champaran Satyagraha at his home, Sikandar Manzil. Citation needed. During 1919, he was active in the Khilaf movement and in 1920 he joined the non-cooperation movement on Gandhiji's call. In 1921, Gandhiji was impressed and established Sadakat Ashram. Abode of Truth. In Patna. Citation needed from the same ashram. Hack started a weekly magazine called Motherland. Citation needed. He was a strong advocate of Hindu-Muslim unity. His statement was, whether we are Hindus or Muslims, we are on the same boat. If we overcome, we will sink together. Citation needed. 87 Mithuban Petty. 87 Mithuban Petty. 87 Mithuban Petty. Born on the 11th of April 1892 Mumbai, India. Died on the 16th of July 1973 India. Hailing from the Parsi Zoroastrian community, Mithuban Petty was a female activist in the Indian independence movement, who famously participated in Mahatma Gandhi's Dandi March. Petty, along with Mahatma Gandhi's wife, Kasturba Gandhi, and Sarojini Naidu, played a major part in the Salt March, with Kasturba Gandhi beginning the march at Sabarmati, Sarojini Naidu lifting the salt for the first time at Dandi on the 6th of April 1930, and Petty standing behind Mahatma Gandhi when he repeated the violation at Bhimarad on the 9th of April 1930. The march was one of the most important events in the Indian independence movement, in a time when women were required to take a back seat due to the patriarchal culture at that time in India.
Alpviram.
Petty was one of the three women who played a pivotal role in the march and the civil disobedience against tax on salt. Petty participated in the Bardoli Satyagraha of 1928, which was a no-tax campaign against the British Raj, where she worked under the guidance of Sardar Patel. 88 Mufti Abdul Razak. 88 Mufti Abdul Razak. 88 Mufti Abdul Razak. Born on the 13th of August 1925, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, India. Died on the 26th of May 2021, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, India. Razak participated in the Indian independence movement. In 1947, he was part of a fight that took place in Bhopal's Qazi camp against the British colonialism. In 1958, he established Madrasa Jamia Islamia Arabia, one of the oldest and largest Islamic seminary in Bhopal. He was patron of various Islamic seminaries in Madhya Pradesh. 89 Paz Hissi Raja. 89 Paz Hissi Raja. 89 Paz Hissi Raja. Born on the 3rd of January 1753, Mattannur, Kerala, India. Died on the 30th of November 1805, Pupalli, Kerala, India. Paz Hissi Raja was a member of the western branch of the Kottayam royal clan. When Hyder Ali of the Kingdom of Mysore occupied Malabar in 1773, the Raja of Kottayam found political asylum in Kallara near Veka in Kottayam district of Kerala. Paz Hissi Raja, the fourth prince in line for succession to the throne during this period, became one of the de facto heads of state, surpassing several older royal contenders. He fought a war of resistance against the Mysorean army from 1774 to 1793. On account of his refusal to flee and due to his effective resistance to Mysoreans, he gained firm support of his subjects. 90 Prabhavati Devi. 90 Prabhavati Devi. 90 Prabhavati Devi. Born on 1906, Bengal Presidency, India. Died on the 15th of April 1973, Patna, Bihar, India. Life after Indian independence. It was under her influence that Jaya Prakash joined the Sarvodaya movement and actively participated in peace overtures in the Northeast India and the Middle East. She established Mahila Charkha Samiti in Patna to involve deserted and abandoned women in The Charkha or the spinning wheel movement on the Gandhi model. 91 Prafulla Chaki. 91 Prafulla Chaki. 91 Prafulla Chaki. Born on the 10th of December 1888, Bengal Presidency, British India. Died on the 1st of May 1908, Patna, Bihar, India. Prafulla and Khudiram Bose tried to assassinate the district judge, Mr. Kingsford, by throwing bombs at the carriage in which Kingsford was supposed to travel. But he was not in the carriage, and 2 British women were killed. Prafulla committed suicide when he was about to be arrested by the police. Khudiram was arrested and tried for the murder of the 2 women and sentenced to death. Mahatma Gandhi denounced the violence and regretted the deaths of 2 women. He stated that the Indian people will not win their freedom through these methods.
However,
Bal Gangadhar Tilak in his newspaper Kesari defended the two young men and called for immediate Swaraj. This was followed by the immediate arrest of Tilak by the British colonial government on charges of sedition. 92 Pretilita Waddar. 92 Pretilita Waddar. 92 Pretilita Waddar. Born on the 5th of May 1911 Bangladesh. Died on the 24th of September 1932 Bangladesh. Pretilita joined a revolutionary group headed by Surya Sen. She is known for leading 15 revolutionaries in the 1932 armed attack on the Pahartali European Club, during which one person was killed and 11 injured. The revolutionaries torched the club and were later caught by the colonial police. To escape arrest, Pretilita committed suicide by cyanide. 93 Puli Devar. 93 Puli Devar. 93 Puli Devar. Born on the 1st of September 1715 Tamil Nadu, India. Died on 1767 Tamil Nadu, India. Puli Devar was a Tamil Palayakarar who ruled near Kattumseval. Situated in the Sankaran Koil Taluk, Tenkasi, formerly Tirunelveli, Tamil Nadu. He is notable fighting against East India Company at 1759 to 1761 in India. Ondiviran and Veni Kaladi were the generals of Teva's army to fight against the East India Company. He is known for the Poligas revolt against the British. He maintained a good relationship with the Kingdom of Travancore, but later the allegiance was broken by one Yusuf Khan. 94 Radhanath Rat. 94 Radhanath Rat. 94 Radhanath Rat. Born on the 6th of December 1896, Athagat Cuttack, Orissa, India. Died on the 11th of February 1988 at Athagat Cuttack, Orissa, India. He joined the Forest Department of Singhabhum district as a clerk. He left the job in 1919 and joined the Satyabadi Press of Gopabandhu Das. He started his career in journalism as manager and assistant editor. Of the Oriya Weekly, the Samaja, which was started under the editorial of Gopabandhu Das. After the death of Gopabandhu Das in the year 1928, Pandit Lingaraj Mishra worked as the editor of the Samaj. In the year 1930, the daily publication of Samaj was initiated. During 1946 to 1952, Lingaraj Mishra worked as the Education Minister of Orissa. So Radhanath Rat became the editor of the Samaj. He joined the Quit India movement in 1942 and was imprisoned for 2 years. He was elected 5 times to the Orissa Legislative Assembly. In 1946, he was first elected to the State Assembly from Athagat. Except for between 1961 and 1967, he remained a member of the House from 1946 to 1977. He appointed Cabinet Minister in charge of Finance, Education, Forestry and Agriculture from 1952 to 1961. Radhanath Rat became the Finance and Education Minister in the Nabakrushna Chaudhary cabinet for the period 1952 to 1959. In the year 1959 he held the post of Minister of Development or Forest Department under The Hare Krishna Matab's cabinet. 95 Raja Nehar Singh. 95 Raja Nehar Singh. 95 Raja Nehar Singh. Born on Punjab, India. Died on the 9th of January 1858 Delhi, India. Raja Nehar Singh. Died 1858. Was the ruler of the princely state of Ballavgarh in Faridabad district of Haryana, India. He fought the British the East India Company in the Indian Rebellion of 1857. The small kingdom of Ballavgarh is only 20 miles from Delhi. His palace was taken over by the government of Haryana under Haryana Tourism. Nehar Singh Stadium in Faridabad is named after him. The Raja Nehar Singh Metro Station in Violet Line is also named after him. 96 Rajendra Lahiri. 96 Rajendra Lahiri. 96 Rajendra Lahiri. Born on the 29th of June 1901 Bengal Presidency, India. Died on the 17th of December 1927 Gondar District Jail, Uttar Pradesh, India. Dakshineshwar Bomb Incident. Lahiri took part in the Dakshineshwar bombing incident and absconded. He went to Banaras and started studying. He was a M.A. student in Department of History. Banaras Hindu University when the revolutionary activities started in United Provinces. Now Uttar Pradesh. He joined the Hindustan Republican Association along with some of his Bengali friends. 97 Ram Lakhan Singh Yadav. 97 Ram Lakhan Singh Yadav. 97 Ram Lakhan Singh Yadav. Born on the 9th of March 1920, Patna, Bihar, India. Died on the 16th of January 2006, Patna, Bihar, India. Ram Lakhan Singh Yadav. March 3, 1922 the 16th of January 2006. Was an Indian politician. He was elected to the 10th Lok Sabha, lower house of the Parliament of India from the era Bihar in 1991 as a member of the Janata Dal but joined the Congress in controversial circumstances, which helped save Narasimha Rao government in the 28th of July 1993 no confidence vote. He was later made Minister for Chemicals and Fertilizer in the Narasimha Rao government. 98 Ram Prasad Bismil. 98 Ram Prasad Bismil. 98 Ram Prasad Bismil. Born on the 11th of June 1897, Uttar Pradesh, India. Died on the 19th of December 1927, Uttar Pradesh, India. Ram Prasad Bismil. Ram Prasad Bismil.
कोष्टक
11 जून 1897, 19 दिसंबर 1927. Was an Indian poet, writer and revolutionary who participated in the Mainpuri conspiracy of 1918 and the Kakori conspiracy of 1925, and fought against British Raj. Bismil was a freedom fighter who played an active role in India's freedom struggle. In memory of his contribution towards India's independence, his birthday, 11 June, is observed as a celebration day by the Indians. He is well known for being a part of the Manipuri conspiracy in 1918 and the Kakori conspiracy in 1925. The Kakori incident was one of the important events of Jung-e-Azadi. He also had a command of Urdu and the Hindi language. 99 Rafi Ahmed Kidwai. 99 Rafi Ahmed Kidwai. 99 Rafi Ahmed Kidwai. Born on the 18th of February 1894, Uttar Pradesh, India. Died on the 24th of October 1954, Delhi, India. The Rafi Ahmed Kidwai Award was created in 1956 by the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, ICAR, in 1956 to recognize Indian researchers in the agricultural field. Awards are distributed every second year, and take the form of medals, citations, and cash prizes. In November 2011, the Postal Staff College in Ghaziabad was named as the Rafi Ahmed Kidwai National Postal Academy. There is also a street named after him in Kolkata. There is a street named after him in Wadala, Mumbai. 100 Ramesh Chandra Jha. 100 Ramesh Chandra Jha. 100 Ramesh Chandra Jha. Born on the 8th of May 1928, Bihar, India. Died on the 7th of April 1994, Motihari, Bihar, India. Ramesh Chandra Jha. 8 May 1928, 7 April 1994. Was an Indian poet, novelist and freedom fighter. Son of a senior Gandhian and freedom fighter Lakshmi Narayan Jha, who was offered to become the first chief minister of Bihar but refused as he called himself a freedom fighter then a politician. His grandson Sanjeev K. Jha is well-known screenwriter who is working in Indian film industry.
Opening square bracket.
1. Ramesh Chandra Jha's poems, ghazals and stories evoke patriotism and human values. Romanticism and struggle of life are also important aspects of his writing. His poetry expresses concerns of people's life struggle, their dreams and hopes. 101 Rani of Jhansi. 101 Rani of Jhansi. 101 Rani of Jhansi. Born on the 19th of November 1828, Kingdom of Kashi Benares, Uttar Pradesh, India. Died on the 18th of June 1858, Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh, India. Lakshmi Bai, the Rani of Jhansi. 19 November 1828. 18 June 1858.
Alpviram.
Was an Indian queen. The Maharani consort of the Maratha princely state of Jhansi from 1843 to 1853 as the wife of Maharaja Gangadhar Rao. She was one of the leading figures of the Indian Rebellion of 1857 and became a symbol of resistance to the British Raj for Indian nationalists. 102 Rash Bihari Bose. 102 Rash Bihari Bose. 102 Rash Bihari Bose. Born on the 25th of May 1886, West Bengal, India. Died on the 21st of January 1945, Tokyo, Japan. Rash Bihari Bose, the 25th of May 1886 to the 21st of January 1945, was an Indian revolutionary leader against the British Raj. He was one of the key organizers of the Ghadar Mutiny and founded the first Indian National Army. During World War II, based on militarization policy of Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, British Indian Army soldiers defected over to INA during the Japanese invasion of Singapore. He founded the Japanese branch of the Hindu Mahasabha in 1938 under the inspiration of Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, who was the president of Hindu Mahasabha, India. The Indian National Army,
INA,
was formed in 1942 under Rash Bihari Bose, which he later handed over as the Indian National Army to Subhas Chandra Bose. 103 Rosanna Punnus. 103 Rosanna Punnus. 103 Rosanna Punnus. Born on the 12th of May 1913, Travancore, Kerala, India. Died on the 28th of December 2013, Salah, Oman. Rosamma Punnus. 12 मई 1913, 28 दिसंबर 2013, was an Indian independence activist, politician and lawyer. She was the first person to be sworn in as a member of the Kerala Legislative Assembly. She was also the first MLA in India to lose her seat following a court order, and the first person to be elected in the first ever by-election to the Assembly in 1958. Punnus was also the first pro-tem Speaker of the Kerala Legislative Assembly. 104 Roshan Singh. 104 Roshan Singh. 104 Roshan Singh. Born on the 22nd of January 1892, Shahjahanpur, Uttar Pradesh, India. Died on the 19th of December 1927, Faizabad, Uttar Pradesh, India. Thakur Roshan Singh. 22 जनवरी 1892, 19 दिसंबर 1927, was an Indian revolutionary. Born in the village of Nabada in Shahjahanpur district, Uttar Pradesh, in a Kathiriya Rajput family, who was sentenced in the Bareilly shooting case during the non-cooperation movement of 1921-22. After release from Bareilly Central Jail, he joined the Hindustan Republican Association in 1924. Although he had not taken part in the Kakori conspiracy of August 1925, he was arrested and tried in January 1926 by the then British government for a murder carried out during the Bamroli dacoity in December 1924. He was sentenced to death, along with Ram Prasad Bismil, Ashfaqullah Khan and Rajendra Lahiri. He was executed at Malaka Naini jail in the Allahabad district. It is well documented that after his death, his family had to face social and economic hardship, including problems finding a matrimonial match for his daughters. 105s. Satyamurthy. 105s. Satyamurthy. 105s. Satyamurthy. Born on the 19th of August 1887, Thirumayam, Tamil Nadu, India. Died on the 28th of March 1943, Madras, India. Sundara Sastri Satyamurthy. 19 अगस्त 1887. 28 March 1943, was an Indian independence activist and politician. He was acclaimed for his rhetoric and was one of the leading politicians of the Indian National Congress from the Madras Presidency, alongside S. Srinivasa Iyengar, C. Rajagopalachari and T. Prakasham. Satyamurthy is regarded as the mentor of K. Kamraj, Chief Minister of Madras State from 1954 to 1962. 106 Sachindra Bakshi. 106 Sachindra Bakshi. 106 Sachindra Bakshi. Born on the 25th of December 1904, Banaras, Uttar Pradesh, India. Sachindra Nath Bakshi. 25 दिसंबर 1904 23 नवंबर 1984 was a prominent Indian revolutionary and one of the founding members of Hindustan Republican Association (HRA), which after 1928 became the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association or HSRA, that was created to carry out revolutionary activities against the British Empire in India. 107 Sangoli Rayanna. 107 Sangoli Rayanna. 107 Sangoli Rayanna. Born on the 15th of August 1798, Sangoli, Karnataka, India. Died on the 26th of January 1831, Nandgarh, Karnataka, India. Sangoli Rayanna was born on the 15th of August 1798. Ek was a 19th century Indian revolutionary, military chief, Shetshindi, and warrior in the Kittur princely state in the present-day Indian state of Karnataka. He was the Shetshindi of the kingdom of Kittur, ruled at the time by Rani Channamma and fought the British East India Company till his death. He died on the 26th of January 1831, at the age of 33. He belonged to the Kuruba Gowda community. His life was the subject of the 2012 Kannada film Sangoli Rayanna. 108 Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. 108 Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. 108 Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Born on the 31st of October 1875, Bombay Presidency, India. Died on the 15th of December 1950, Bombay, India. Vallabhbhai Jhaverbhai Patel. Gujarati. अक्टूबर 1875 15 दिसंबर 1950.
अल्पविराम.
Commonly known as Sardar, was an Indian lawyer, influential political leader, barrister and statesman who served as the first Deputy Prime Minister of India and first Home Minister of India from 1947 to 1950. He is also called the Unifier of India, because he did the impossible task of integrating nearly 565 princely states. The Statue of Unity. The Indian government erected world's tallest statue at a cost of 420 million United States dollars. Was dedicated to him on the 31st of October 2018 and is approximately 182 meters. 597 feet in height. He was a barrister and a senior leader of the Indian National Congress, who played a leading role in the country's struggle for independence. 109 Sarojini Naidu. 109 Sarojini Naidu. 109 Sarojini Naidu. Born on the 13th of February 1879, Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh, India. Died on the 2nd of March 1949, Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, India. Sarojini Naidu, the 13th of February 1879 to the 2nd of March 1949, was an Indian political activist and poet, a proponent of civil rights, women's emancipation, and anti-imperialistic ideas. She was an important person in India's struggle for independence from colonial rule. Naidu's work as a poet earned her the sobriquet, the Nightingale of India, or Bharat Ko Khila, by Mahatma Gandhi because of color, imagery and lyrical quality of her poetry. 110 Sambhu Dutt Sharma. 110 Sambhu Dutt Sharma. 110 Sambhu Dutt Sharma. Born on the 9th of September 1918, Hoshiarpur, Punjab, India. Died on the 15th of April 2016. He was a Gandhian freedom fighter. He joined Mahatma Gandhi's Quit India movement in 1942 at the age of 24 after resigning as a civilian gazetted officer from the British Indian Army. Sambhu Dutt was a law graduate. He was imprisoned. In 1975 he was again imprisoned protesting during the emergency in India imposed by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. 111 Shah Nawaz Khan General. 111 Shah Nawaz Khan General. 111 Shah Nawaz Khan General. Born on the 24th of January 1914, Mathura, Punjab, Pakistan. Died on the 9th of December 1983, India. He was profoundly influenced by Subhas Chandra Bose's speeches asking POWs to join the Indian National Army and to fight for a free India. Khan led the army into northeastern India, seizing Kohama and Imphal, which were held briefly by the INA under the authority of the Japanese. 112 Shaukat Ali. 112 Shaukat Ali. 112 Shaukat Ali. Born on the 10th of March 1873, Rampur State, Uttar Pradesh, India. Died on the 26th of November 1938, Delhi, India. Khilafat movement. Shaukat Ali helped his younger brother Muhammad Ali Johar publish the Urdu weekly Hamdard and The English weekly Comrade. In 1915 he published an article which said Turks were right to fight the British. These two weekly magazines played a key role in shaping the political policy of Muslim India back then. In 1919, while jailed for publishing what the British charged as seditious materials and organizing protests, he was elected as the last president of the Khilafat Conference. He was re-arrested and imprisoned from 1921 to 1923 for his support to Mahatma Gandhi and the Indian National Congress during the non-cooperation movement. 1919-1922.
Dot.
His fans accorded him and his brother the title of Maulana. In March 1922, he was in Rajkot jail and was later released in 1923. 113 Shivram Rajguru. 113 Shivram Rajguru. 113 Shivram Rajguru. Born on the 24th of August, Bombay Presidency, India. Died on the 23rd of March 1931, Lahore, Pakistan. Shivram Hari Rajguru. 24 August 1908, 23 March 1931. Was an Indian revolutionary from Maharashtra, then Bombay State.
Alpviram.
Known mainly for his involvement in the assassination of a British police officer named John Saunders. He was an active member of the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association, HSRA. And on the 23rd of March 1931, he was hanged by the British government along with his associates Bhagat Singh and Sukhdev Thapar. 114 Shyami Krishna Varma. 114 Shyami Krishna Varma. 114 Shyami Krishna Varma. Born on the 4th of October 1857, Kutch, Gujarat, India. Died on the 30th of March 1930, Geneva, Switzerland, India. Shyamji Krishna Varma. 4 October 1857, 30 March 1930. Was an Indian revolutionary fighter, an Indian patriot, lawyer and journalist who founded the Indian Home Rule Society, India House and the Indian Sociologist in London. A graduate of Balliol College, Krishna Varma was a noted scholar in Sanskrit and other Indian languages. He pursued a brief legal career in India and served as the Diwan of a number of Indian princely states in India. He had,
However,
differences with Crown authority. Was dismissed following a supposed conspiracy of British colonial officials at Junagadh. 115 Subhash Chandra Bose. 115 Subhash Chandra Bose. 115 Subhash Chandra Bose. Born on the 23rd of January, Cuttack, Orissa, India. Died on the 18th of August 1945, Taipei, Taiwan. Was an Indian nationalist whose defiance of British authority in India made him a hero among Indians. But his wartime alliances with Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan left a legacy vexed by authoritarianism, anti-Semitism, and military failure. The honorific Netaji, Hindustani, respected leader, was first applied to Bose in Germany in early 1942. By the Indian soldiers of the Indichal Legion and by the German and Indian officials in the Special Bureau for India in Berlin. It is now used throughout India. Subhas Bose was born into wealth and privilege in a large Bengali family in Orissa during the British Raj. The early recipient of an Anglo-centric education, he was sent after college to England to take the Indian Civil Service examination. He succeeded with distinction in the vital first exam but demurred at taking the routine final exam, citing nationalism to be a higher calling. Returning to India in 1921, Bose joined the nationalist movement led by Mahatma Gandhi and the Indian National Congress. He followed Jawaharlal Nehru to leadership in a group within the Congress which was less keen on constitutional reform and more open to socialism. Bose became Congress president in 1938. After re-election in 1939, differences arose between him and the Congress leaders, including Gandhi, over the future federation of British India and princely states. but also because discomfort had grown among the Congress leadership over Bose's negotiable attitude to non-violence, and his plans for greater powers for himself. After the large majority of the Congress Working Committee members resigned in protest, Bose resigned as president and was eventually ousted from the party. 116 Sri Aurobindo. 116 Sri Aurobindo. 116 Sri Aurobindo. Born on the 15th of August 1872, Kolkata, India. Died on the 5th of December 1950, Pondicherry, French, India. Sri Aurobindo. Born Aurobindo Ghosh. 15 अगस्त 1872, 5 दिसंबर 1950. Was an Indian philosopher, yogi, maharishi, poet, and Indian nationalist. He was also a journalist, editing newspapers such as Band Mataram. He joined the Indian movement for independence from British colonial rule. Until 1910 was one of its influential leaders. And then became a spiritual reformer, introducing his visions on human progress and spiritual evolution. Aurobindo studied for the Indian Civil Service at King's College, Cambridge, England. After returning to India, he took up various civil service works under the Maharaja of the princely state of Baroda and became increasingly involved in nationalist politics in the Indian National Congress and the nascent revolutionary movement in Bengal with the Anushilan Samiti. He was arrested in the aftermath of a number of bombings linked to his organization in a public trial where he faced charges of treason for Alipore conspiracy.
However,
Sri Aurobindo could only be convicted and imprisoned for writing articles against British colonial rule in India. He was released when no evidence could be provided. Following the murder of a prosecution witness, Narendranath Goswami, during the trial. During his stay in the jail, he had mystical and spiritual experiences, after which he moved to Pondicherry, leaving politics for spiritual work. 117 Subodh Roy. 117 Subodh Roy. 117 Subodh Roy. Born on 1915 Chittagong, Bangladesh. Died on the 26th of August 2006, Calcutta, India. Subodh Roy was born in 1915 in a rich family at Chittagong in erstwhile undivided Bengal. At the age of 14, he was the youngest participant in the Chittagong Armory raid in 1930-31 under the direction of the revolutionary leader Surya Sen. Master. Roy was in the first batch to be sentenced. After the trial, Subodh Roy was deported to the cellular jail in Port Blair in 1934. After the release from jail in 1940, he joined communist politics and became a member of the Communist Party of India. After the independence, he shifted to Calcutta and joined as a whole-timer at the provincial centre of the party. After the split in Communist Party of India in 1964, Subodh Roy sided with the Communist Party of India, Marxist, CPIM, and he was a long-standing member of the West Bengal State Committee of the CPIM. 118 Subramania Bharti. 118 Subramania Bharti. 118 Subramania Bharti. Born on the 11th of December 1882 at Ettayapuram State, Tamil Nadu, India. Died on the 11th of September 1921, Madras, Tamil Nadu, India. Subramania Bharatiyar. 11 December 1882, 11 September 1921. Was a Tamil writer, poet, journalist, Indian independence activist, social reformer and polyglot. Popularly known as Mahakavi Bharati. Great poet Bharati.
Alpviram.
He was a pioneer of modern Tamil poetry and is considered one of the greatest Tamil literary figures of all time. His numerous works included fiery songs kindling patriotism during the Indian independence movement. He fought for the emancipation of women, against child marriage, vehemently opposed the caste system, and stood for reforming society and religion. He was also in solidarity with Dalits and Muslims. 119 Sukhdev Thapar. 119 Sukhdev Thapar. 119 Sukhdev Thapar. Born on the 15th of May 1907, Ludhiana, Punjab, India. Died on the 23rd of March 1931, Lahore, Punjab, Pakistan. Sukhdev Thapar. 15 मई 1907 23 मार्च 1931 was an Indian revolutionary who worked to make India independent from the British Raj along with his best friends and partners Bhagat Singh and Shivram Rajguru. A senior member of the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association, he participated in several actions alongside Singh and Rajguru, and was hanged by the British government on the 23rd of March 1931 at the age of 23. 120 Surendranath Tagore. 120 Surendranath Tagore. 120 Surendranath Tagore. Born on 1872, Mumbai, India. Died on 1940. He was involved in supporting strike by railway workers in Bombay in 1899, and subsequently became involved in the Swadeshi movement in Bengal, in opposition to the 1905 partition of Bengal. 121 Surya Sen. 121 Surya Sen. 121 Surya Sen. Born on the 22nd of March, Chittagong, Bangladesh. Died on the 12th of January 1934, Chittagong. Sen was a school teacher by profession and was popularly known as Master Da. Da is an honorific suffix in Bengali language. He was influenced by the nationalist ideals in 1916 while he was a student of B.A. in Berhampur College, now Krishnat College. In 1918, he was selected as president of the Indian National Congress's Chittagong branch. Sen was known for recruiting a group of young and passionate revolutionaries known as the Chittagong Group. The group included Ananta Singh, Ganesh Ghosh and Loknath Bal, and fought against the British stationed in Chittagong. 122 Sushila Chain Trehin. 122 Sushila Chain Trehin. 122 Sushila Chain Trehin. Born on the 1st of July 1923, Pathankot, Punjab, India. Died on the 28th of September 2011. Trehin joined the Arya Samaj as a teenager when, while attending an opening meeting, the attendees were surrounded by police and beaten up. Trehin at that age decided to fight against injustice. Trehin became a political activist and moved to the Communist Party headquarters in Lahore in 1941. That time she was working along Bibi Raghbir Kaur, who was a Kirti Ghadar party member of Punjab State Legislative Assembly. By this time, Trehin had left home and joined Shakuntala Azad to join the freedom fighters against the capitalist system Indian society was under. Trehin later joined the Kirti party after much opposition. She proved her mettle by tolerating torture and lathi charges against injustice by the then British Raj police. 123 Sushila Didi. 123 Sushila Didi. 123 Sushila Didi. Born on the 5th of March 1905, Punjab, British, India. Died on the 13th of January 1963, Delhi, India. India's Joan of Arc. Sushila Mohan, popularly known as Sushila Didi, was one of India's most courageous women revolutionaries. Born on the 5th of March 1905 in the Punjab province of British India. She was educated at the Arya Women's College in Jalandhar, from where her tryst with India's freedom struggle began. 124 Saifuddin Kichlu. 124 Saifuddin Kichlu. 124 Saifuddin Kichlu. Born on the 15th of January 1888, Amritsar, Punjab, India. Died on the 9th of October, New Delhi, India. An Indian independence activist, barrister, politician and later a leader of the peace movement. A member of Indian National Congress, he first became Punjab Provincial Congress Committee, Punjab PCC, head and later the General Secretary of the All India Congress Committee in 1924. 125 Swami Shraddhanand. 125 Swami Shraddhanand. 125 Swami Shraddhanand. Born on the 22nd of February 1856, Jalandhar, Punjab, India. Died on the 23rd of December 1926, Delhi, India. Swami Shraddhanand. 22 फरवरी 1856, 23 दिसंबर 1926.
अल्प विराम.
Also known as Mahatma Munshi Ram Vij, was an Arya Samaj sannyasi and an Indian independence activist who propagated the teachings of Dayananda Saraswati. This included the establishment of educational institutions like the Gurukul Kangri University, and played a key role on the Sangathan consolidation and organization, and the Shuddhi purification, a Hindu reform movement in the 1920s. 126 Thanbuthuri Prakasham Pantulu. 126 Thanbuthuri Prakasham Pantulu. 126 Thanbuthuri Prakasham Pantulu. Born on the 23rd of August 1872, Madras Presidency, Andhra Pradesh, India. Died on the 20th of May 1957, Hyderabad, India. Thanbuthuri Prakasham Pantulu. 23 अगस्त 1872, 20 मई 1957. Was an Indian jurist, political leader, social reformer, and anti-colonial nationalist who served as the chief minister of the Madras Presidency. Thanbuthuri subsequently became the first chief minister of the erstwhile Andhra state, created by the partition of Madras state along the linguistic lines. Thanbuthuri was known as Andhra Kesari, which translates to Lion of Andhra. The Andhra Pradesh government issued G.O.R.T. 2500 on the 10th of August 2014, declaring his birth anniversary a state holiday. 127 Tara Rani Srivastav. 127 Tara Rani Srivastav. 127 Tara Rani Srivastav. Born on Bihar, India. Died on the 12th of August 1942. Called upon by Mahatma Gandhi, she and her husband organized a march to raise the flag of India in front of the Siwan police station, an act that would be seen as a major defiance. The police, in preventing them from hoisting the flag, lathi charged the protesters. When they were unable to gain control, the police opened fire. Fulendu Babu was among the shot and wounded. Despite that, after bandaging Babu's wounds with strips of cloth torn from Hasari, Tara Rani continued her march to the police station, where she attempted to hoist the flag. On her return, she discovered that her husband had died of his injuries. On the 15th of August 1942, a prayer meeting was held in Chhapra in honor of her husband's sacrifice for the country. She continued to be part of the freedom struggle until the partition of India on the 15th of August 1947. 128 Titumir. 128 Titumir. 128 Titumir. Born on the 27th of January 1782, Bengal Presidency, India. Died on the 19th of November 1831, Bengal Presidency, India. A freedom fighter who led a campaign against British rule during the 19th century. He eventually built a bamboo fort in Narakelbiria village, which became the subject of Bengali folk legend. Titumir died of wounds following the storming of the fort by British soldiers. 129 Titus G. 129 Titus G. 129 Titus G. Born on the 18th of February 1905, Travancore, Kerala, India. Died on the 8th of August 1980, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, India. Titus G was one of the 78 marches selected by Mahatma Gandhi to take part in the 1930 Dandi March to break the salt law. He served as governing secretary for Gandhi's Sabarmati Ashram milk project near Ahmedabad. Gulzarilal Nanda, who later became Prime Minister of India, was the secretary of another unit. Both of them were trusted friends of Gandhi. His given name was Titus Thivetundiyu, while Titus G was the honorific given to him by Mahatma Gandhi. 130 V. Thomas. 130 V. Thomas. 130 V. Thomas. Born on the 2nd of July 1910, Travancore, Kerala, India. Died on the 2nd of July 1910. T. V. Thomas. 2 जुलाई 1910, 26 मार्च 1977. Was an Indian communist leader from Alleppey, Kerala. He was the Minister for Labour and Transport in the first E.M.S. Namboodiripad ministry. The 5th of April 1957 to the 31st of July 1959. Minister for Industries in the second E.M.S. Namboodiripad ministry. The 6th of March 1967 to the 21st of October 1969. And in the second Achyuta Menon ministry. The 25th of September 1971 to the 25th of March 1977. He was also the opposition leader in the Travancore Kochi Legislative Assembly 1954-56. 131 Pasampon Muturamalinga Devar. 131 Pasampon Muturamalinga Devar. 131 Pasampon Muturamalinga Devar. Born on the 30th of October 1908, Madras, Tamil Nadu, India. Muturamalinga Devar was born on the 30th of October 1908 in Pasampon, Ramnad district. From 1910, he was in the custody of his maternal grandmother Pavathyammal in the neighboring village of Kallupatti. Pavathyammal was furious with Muturamalinga Devar's father for having taken 2 new wives. Shortly after the death of his second wife, citation needed. 132 Ubadullah Sindhi. 132 Ubadullah Sindhi. 132 Ubadullah Sindhi. Born on the 10th of March 1872, Punjab, India. Died on the 21st of August 1944, Punjab, India. Maulana Ubadullah Sindhi was the life member of Jamia Millia Islamia, a central university in New Delhi, India. He served the Jamia Millia Islamia for a long period of time on a very low salary. A boys' hostel in Dr. Zakir Hussain Hall of Boys' Residence in Jamia Millia Islamia has been named after him. 133 Udham Singh. 133 Udham Singh. 133 Udham Singh. Born on the 26th of December 1899, Punjab, India. Died on the 31st of July, Prison, London, England. Udham Singh. Born Sher Singh. 26 December 1899. 31 July 1940. Was an Indian revolutionary belonging to Ghadar Party and HSRA. Best known for assassinating Michael Udwaya, the former Lieutenant Governor of the Punjab in India, on the 13th of March 1940. The assassination was done in revenge for the Jallianwala Bagh massacre in Amritsar in 1919, for which Udwaya was responsible. Singh was subsequently tried and convicted of murder and hanged in July 1940. While in custody, he used the name Ram Muhammad Singh Azad, which represents the 3 major religions in India and his anti-colonial sentiment. 134 Ulaskar Datta. 134 Ulaskar Datta. 134 Ulaskar Datta. Born on the 16th of April 1885, Bengal Presidency, Bangladesh. Died on the 17th of May 1965, Calcutta, India. Ulaskar was a member of the Jugantar Party and he became expert in bomb making. Khudiram Bose used a bomb manufactured by Ulaskar and Hemchandra Das in an attempt to murder the Venerable Magistrate, Kingsford.
However,
police caught many members of the Jugantar group including Ulaskar Datta, Barindra Ghosh and Khudiram. 135 Ullur Gopi. 135 Ullur Gopi. 135 Ullur Gopi. Born on. Died on. A freedom fighter from Kerala. Born in rich aristocratic family, Ullur Gopi was drawn towards the national struggle by socialist thoughts. He was arrested 5 times by British. In Quit India movement his contributions could be called historical. 136 Umaji Naik Khomane. 136 Umaji Naik Khomane. 136 Umaji Naik Khomane. Born on the 7th of September 1791, Pune, Maharashtra, India. Died on the 3rd of February 1832, Pune, Maharashtra, India. First Raoshi freedom fighter who fought against British Council. Umaji Naik, also known as honorifically Vishwa Krantiveer Narveer Raje Umaji Naik. 7 सितंबर 1791, 3 फरवरी 1832. Was an Indian revolutionary who challenged the British rule in India around 1826 to 1832. He was one of the earliest freedom fighter of India. He fought against East India Company and company rule. 137 Uyalawada Narasimha Reddy. 137 Uyalawada Narasimha Reddy. 137 Uyalawada Narasimha Reddy. Born on the 24th of November 1806, Nandyal district, Andhra Pradesh, India. Died on the 22nd of February 1847, Nandyal district, Andhra Pradesh, India. The rebels were protesting against the changes introduced by the company authorities to the traditional agrarian system in the first half of the 19th century. These changes include the introduction of the Ryutwari system and other attempts to maximize revenue through exploiting lower status cultivators through implementing exploitative working conditions. The revolt took thousands of company soldiers to suppress, with Reddy's death bringing it to an end. 138 Uzar Gul Peshawari. 138 Uzar Gul Peshawari. 138 Uzar Gul Peshawari. Born on 1886, Afghanistan. Died on the 17th of November 1989, Peshawar, Pakistan. Uzar Gul Peshawari. 1886, 17 November 1989. Was an Islamic scholar and an activist of the Indian freedom struggle who actively participated in the Silk Letter movement. He was an alumnus of the Darul Uloom Deoband and served as the head teacher of Madrasa Ramaniya in Roorkee. 139
O.
Chidambaram Pillai. 139
O.
Chidambaram Pillai. 139
O.
Chidambaram Pillai. Born on the 5th of September 1872, Madras Presidency, Tamil Nadu, India. Died on the 18th of November, Thoothukudi, Tamil Nadu, India. Valyappan Olaganathan Chidambaram Pillai. 5 September 1872, 18 November 1936. Also known as Kapulatiya Tamizan. Tamil helmsman. Was an Indian freedom fighter and former leader of the Indian National Congress. He founded the Swadeshi Steam Navigation Company in 1906 to compete against the monopoly of the British India Steam Navigation Company, BISNC. He launched the first indigenous Indian shipping service between Tuticorin, India, and Colombo, Sri Lanka, with the Swadeshi Steam Navigation Company, SSNC, competing against British ships. 141 Chinathan. 141 Chinathan. 141 Chinathan. Born on 1886, Sengotai, Tamil Nadu, India. Died on the 17th of June 1911. Suicide. On the 17th of June 1911. Vanchi, who was 25, assassinated Robert Ashe, the district collector of Tirunelveli, who was also known as Collector Dori. He shot Ashe at point-blank range when Ashe's train had stopped at the Maniachi station, en route to Madras. He committed suicide thereafter. The railway station has since been renamed Vanchi Maniachi. 141 Vasudev Balwant Phadke. 141 Vasudev Balwant Phadke. 141 Vasudev Balwant Phadke. Born on the 4th of November 1845, Sherdong, Raigad, Maharashtra, India. Died on the 17th of February 1883. Vasudev Balwant Phadke. 4 November 1845, 17 February 1883. Also known as the father of Indian Armed Rebellion, was an Indian independence activist and revolutionary who sought India's independence from colonial rule. Phadke was moved by the plight of the farming community and believed that Swaraj was the only remedy for their ills. With the help of various sub-communities of Hindu society, he created a movement against British rule. The group started an armed struggle to overthrow the colonial government, launching raids on wealthy European businessmen to obtain funds for the purpose. Phadke came to prominence when he got control of the city of Pune for a few days after catching 142 Varian Kunathu Kunjahammad Haji. 142 Varian Kunathu Kunjahammad Haji. 142 Varian Kunathu Kunjahammad Haji. Born on 1883, Malabar, Madras, Tamil Nadu, India. Died on the 20th of January 1922, Malabar, Madras, Tamil Nadu, India. He seized control of a large area from the British rule and set up a parallel government of his Malayalam state in Malabar, named Malala Rajyam, and now part of the Kerala state. 143 Velu Nachiyar. 143 Velu Nachiyar. 143 Velu Nachiyar. Born on the 3rd of January 1730 Tamil Nadu, India. Died on the 25th of December 1796 Tamil Nadu, India. Rani Velu Nachiyar. 3 January 1730 25 December 1796. Was a queen of Shivaganga estate from c. 1780-1790. She was the first Indian queen to wage war with the East India Company in India. She is known by Tamils as Veeramangi. Brave woman. With the support of Hyder Ali's army, feudal lords, the Maruthu brothers, Dalit commanders, and Thandavarayan Pillai, she fought the East India Company. 144 Veerapandiya Kattabomman. 144 Veerapandiya Kattabomman. 144 Veerapandiya Kattabomman. Born on January 1760 Panchalan Kurichi, Tamil Nadu, India. Died on the 16th of October 1799 Tamil Nadu, India. Veerapandiya Kattabomman was an 18th century Tamil Palaikarar and king of Panchalankuruchi in Tamil Nadu, India. He refused to accept the sovereignty of the British East India Company and waged a war against
them.
He was captured by the British with the help of the ruler of the kingdom of Pudukottai, Vijaya Raghunatha Thondiman, and at the age of 39 he was hanged at Kayatha on the 16th of October 1799. 145 Vinayak Damodar Savarkar. 145 Vinayak Damodar Savarkar. 145 Vinayak Damodar Savarkar. Born on the 28th of May 1883 Bombay Presidency, India. Died on the 26th of February 1966 Bombay, India. He was an independence activist, politician and a Hindu nationalist. He published books advocating complete Indian independence by revolutionary means. One of the books he published called The Indian War of Independence about the Indian Rebellion of 1857. In 1910, Savarkar was arrested and ordered to be extradited to India for his connections with the revolutionary freedom group India House. He was later sentenced to a total 50 years imprisonment at the cellular jail. 146 Zakir Hussain. Politician. 146 Zakir Hussain. Politician. 146 Zakir Hussain. Politician. Born on the 8th of February 1897 Hyderabad, Telangana, India. Died on the 3rd of May 1969 New Delhi, India. He was an Indian economist and politician who served as the third President of India from the 13th of May 1967 until his death on the 3rd of May 1969. He was awarded the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor, in 1963.